Wait for a few minutes here to get everyone tuned in. Perfect. Right at 6 too. God, so stupid of me. Alrighty. We back, Don. We back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably have to edit this out or edit. I'll figure this out. Basically, what the issue was that I have the video on, and I was waiting for myself to play, I guess. And then when I went to the live version, that video was still on for some reason. YouTube doesn't. YouTube is kind of glitchy at that point. What's up, Greg? Now we're back. Now we're back, AK. Yeah. So basically, the player was still playing here, which is very strange. It wasn't had anything to do with any of this stuff. Kind of want to get into this. I was gonna be all coy and give us like 3 minutes for people to kind of roll in and chill, and of course it just threw my mojo off. Okay, now we're good though. We're good. All right. So what I wanted to do before we get into this huge spiel of Coach Chemie, I wanted to first thank Don. Appreciate you for the rocking the dope wear. See if this is gonna follow me tonight. Looks like we're good in the house. Exactly. What's up? What's up, Rick Smith? Recognize some cool stuff. Just a quick unboxing before we get into it. I always get so much things here. My ear, I'm guessing my audio is pretty good, right? Nothing too crazy. What's up, Rico? How you doing, my friend? And where can I get Greg's Yum V2 hat? This was supposed to be V2 Yum hat by Greg, but I can't get one yet. Just a quick, what are these called? Turbo nozzle. I didn't have a turbo nozzle. We'll try this out. Probably, in these areas. Good spot for a turbo nozzle. I don't know. Did I see Greg use this? I can't remember. I think he was using a 20 degree. But somebody got me interested in a turbo nozzle, and I ended up getting that. And quickly, before I get into it, we got a package in from Andrew over at Carzilla. It's nice, just a little above us here, a couple hours from me. So thank you, Carzilla. Let's see what we got. This is obviously my money, so I know exactly what it is. But the brand, I haven't seen this brand before. So let me know what you guys think of this brand. And later on in a few weeks from now, once we go over this and we test a bunch of this, we will, this is confusing me. We will try this product out, and I will go over this really quickly here. So right now, a lot of good packaging. That's a plus. And to keep it simple and sweet, we got a little bit more Green Star. We will be discussing Green Star. I actually ran out. The bottle is there as a placement bottle. So I got more Green Star. And if you look really closely, I got an extra tip for one of my press-alls. So hopefully that'll work. I'm actually trying to see if that tip will use one of my older press-alls. All right. So the first thing is this. What is this? I don't even know what this is. I might have to look this up because it has no label on it. I'm very confused right now. Very confused. 10/21/19. I don't know what the heck this is. I'm going to have to look this up real quick. Let's see. This was on Shop, I think. What the heck was that? What is the white bottle, man? What's in the bottle? What the heck could that stuff be? You know what I think it might be? It's supposed to be this brand called Detail Popo. Has anyone heard of this? Detail Popo? And I think that's supposed to be their foaming waterless and rinseless concentrate. It's a 32 ounce. I believe that's it. It doesn't have any label on it. Very not off to a good start, Carzilla. What the hell? Especially for being like $25 or something, right? Not cheap. It's not the most expensive, but okay. Next up, we got a towel and wheel brush. from Detail Popo. I want to try these out. This is all in Carzilla. I haven't seen Detail Popo anywhere else. As you guys, have you guys seen Detail Popo? This was like now that I have it open, this was about $11. And then this cutie here, I think I got one of them by Popo. A little bit of Popo, cute. This is I think a small one, double sided. Nice suede, tight knit with the brand. Not bad. We'll try these out. And then we have a wash mitt. Looks like this is called the Detail Popo Snow Pillow Wash Pad. Snow Pillow by Detail Popo. Pretty soft. Very smooth. I wonder how this will do at releasing dirt because it looks like it's kind of like a Yum Tri fiber, but it looks like it's just one of the fibers. And look, there's already a little bit of dirt on it. So we'll see how this does. The squishiness is. We'll go deep. We'll go deeper into this later. That's cool. Oh wow! I forgot I even had these. Some fine detailing brushes by Detail Popo. We will go over some brushes. Not today, of course. We'll go over this on you kind of getting a teaser of what my future is going to be like here for you guys. Looks like I got a random bottle of Car Pro Bug Out. I'm going to assume this is like a yeah, it's an intensive insect remover. Has anyone used Car Pro Bug Out? I haven't used it. This will be interesting to try. That's that I think they threw that one in. And then this is called the Popo Tire Applicator Brush, and I think this was this thrown in? This might have been thrown in, which looks like kind of a decent detail, almost like is it a Detail Factory? No, it's like a knockoff Detail Factory, but it looks pretty similar. A little bit of phrase on the end. And this is the Detail Popo. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right because it's like Popo. I don't even know where they're from, but I just said, "Oh wow, this is a cool." So I'm sure people have used these before. I'm not too familiar with the cap. Is oh, so what do? Do you like pour your stuff in it and then close it in, kind of like one of those soap things on the counter? Why won't it just pop out? Oh, there it goes. So is that what you're doing? You're pouring stuff inside this thing and then massaging the tire? That feels pretty cool. This will be nice to try. I'm excited to try this. This feels nice. This feels very nice. And this just a little brush. Brush. And then we'll go over these real quick. And this is the last bit of the box here. I got one of each towel because I do like these. Come on, my hand is not working. I do like one of these towels where you can kind of just try. Can you scroll down a little bit? What am I doing? Two fingers. There we go. Okay. So the orange one is called the Detail Popo Sunset Blanket. It's an edgeless 350. Let me get this out here. It's already a bit of white lint on it. It's an edgeless 350 called the. I already forgot. What I like about this is got the Pan Organizer imprint on that. The Popo. You can see a little bit of Popo on there. Oh, does that say? Yeah, it says Popo upside down. There we go. On the corner. That's cool. So Eagle, well, I'm not gonna say Eagle Edgeless. It's their Popo called the Sunset Blanket. And this was about $375. Put that right here, nice and neat. And then this was their. What is this one called? Detail Popo Snow Blanket, Edgeless 500. So that one was 350. This one's 500. Does it have Popo on it? Yes, it does. It's got a little Popo there. Looks like Bobo. Yeah, it does look like Bobo because it's reversed for you. If I flip the camera, you'd see Popo. That's not bad, though. That's cool. I do kind of like the press. Does it feel any different than like the Rag Company or House of Rags? I honestly, we're gonna test this out later on, but right now, some of the edges to me don't look as premium. But you know what? the performance to me is ultimately the best, whether it's doing its job and whether it cleans. How does it clean up? Like once you throw it in the microfiber wash. Even right now, I have a little bit of blue on it. Blue. Now this blue one's called the Detail Bobo, as Don calls it. Ocean Blanket 500. So this is another 500. The Ocean Blanket, little Bobo. I'm gonna call them Bobos now. Yeah, the cutting, just the cutting on the edges just don't look very. It just don't. They don't ring. They don't look ultra premium to me. That's all. And these are like what? How much? 375. So like $4 a towel. Now these colors I like. They should have brought this out yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. These are called the Popo Minty Blanket Edgeless 350. That's a beautiful mint. I love that color. So this is a 350. Doesn't feel like crazy nice. It feels good though. It feels like what I'm used to. And then this, guys, this is going to be the most interesting towel. I think I got all of them. This is called their Detail Popo Minty Shower Fusion Drying Towel. It's 1,000 GSM. And what does this one look like to you guys? What does that look like to you? It's almost like, let me know what you guys think before I say it. Look, and the size is like a medium of this towel that I'm thinking of. Yeah, exactly, Greg. Yeah, that's right, Don. It does not feel stiff like it though. It does have that liquidator and the, I don't know what the softer one you'd say, but it definitely has like the twisted loop, Mister like the rinseless diva mix. This will be interesting to try. I definitely want to try this. But this is called their. I already forgot the name. This is called their Shower Fusion Drying Towel, and it's a cool mint color. So that is the haul that I just got from the box from Carzilla. Other than their rinseless wash with no label on it, I think the packaging was pretty good. I have way too many detail brushes. Forgot about this one. I think this whole pack of detail brushes is $13. So that's probably why I bought it. It's like one, two, there's like four, and there's a box. So $13. This wash pad was $6.61. So for $6, let's try it. I like that it's in white. I like the fact that we'll be able to see the dirt, kind of like how Nick's Tri-Fiber does. So that'll be interesting. And then let me put this away in my tire area with my other tire stuff. That's right there. This and the applicator. I love the mint. I'm a big fan of the mint. And then I will just dangle this somewhere. Does it fit on one of these hooks? That's a big plus if it does. It kind of does. Not really. It kind of does not. So that's... Does it fit up here? Okay, it fits there. So that's good. And then I will test these out later. Now, boys and girls, thank you for your patience. Let's get down to the good stuff, shall we? Yeah, these towels. Let me just throw this in my towel mansion and read some of these comments and catch up. Sorry. I hope that was cool. So you'll see Detail Popo in all its glory. There was a couple of more items from Detail Popo, but I'm detail broke now, so forgive me. By the way, shout out to Don for this nice, comfortable shirt. I appreciate it. Detailed Obsessed Nation. Check it out if you don't know who he is. And yeah, let's do this here. So, as I put all this crap away. All right, let's catch up here. Who's still here? Let's see. Go to my channel. Go to live. There I am. I'm just gonna have to add a thumbnail to this, I think, later. Hopefully I'll be able to. Let's catch up. Yeah, definitely a weapon. Looked like the weapon of mass drying, that's for sure. There's a lot of messages. I'm not gonna go read all of it. Yes, Rico, definitely rest in peace to my bank account. I'm catching up now. Now I'm just gonna read from there. Yum Reset just hits different. Rick Smith, I've enjoyed Reset a lot. I pretty good in the bucket. I don't think it's really necessary in a foam cannon. All right. So Coach Chemie. This is my duffel bag full of Coach Chemie. Plus, if you can kind of see in this corner here, we got a whole shebang worth of stuff. And all these beautiful, glorious. Oh, you can't really see that very well. Look at that. Wow. 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 Okay. So, how I'm going to start this is basically I'm going to give a brief overview of Coach Chemie and the history of Coach Chemie. And that's how you pronounce it, Coach Chemie, not Koshemi or Kosh Chemie. I guess you can pronounce it however you want, honestly. But most people pronounce it Coach Chemie. Founded from the Koch family in 1968, I believe. Let's see. Coach Hans Koch begins to develop his own recipe in 1968. He is dissatisfied with the poor quality of the vehicle care products of this time. I mean, there's probably not much back then, right? Was there even a three? Like, was there a high alkaline acid? Like, was how did people wash their cars in the 60s? I'm curious if Ivan's around. Ivan was around for that. And let's see here. Detailing the result products are of outstanding quality so that they are aesthetically received by the experts, the commercial consumers. In the course of the following years, the company grows, setting new standards on the market with innovative concepts in the field of car wash chemicals, vehicle preparation, as well as industrial and workshop floor cleaning. So in 1968, Hans Koch developed his own recipes and polish, right? We got that and in his garage too. So a lot of these startups in the garage. Then in the 70s, so that was 68, and then the mid 70s, first Koch Chemie products go into serial production. So they've been around for a while. 1971, Koch Chemie moves its headquarters to Germany. 1980, the Koch Chemie brand established itself as an innovator in the various product areas. So they're basically kind of like dominating the market in that area. And then in 1990, it looks like Koch Chemie Star product range is developed. So it's called Star. Many of these products are still produced and sold today according to the same recipe. So that's 1990. So they've been doing stuff for a while. And then in the 2000s, the company continued by the founders' children, Axel, and by the founders' children, and they basically started growing big time. Probably around 2015, the company headquarters in Germany is expanded with a new admin building, warehouse, and competence center. So they're just making moves. 2017, Koch became part of the French Novik Group, and Vincent takes over the position of CEO. That's 2017. So it's almost 10 years ago, guys. Time has been flying. Almost 10 years ago. 2018, Koch celebrates their 50th anniversary. That would have been fun. Does anybody have any limited Coach products from 2018? November of 2019, the first participation in SEMA. So they've been doing SEMA since 2019. So that's pretty good. They've been around there. 2020, Coach expands both in terms of personnel and premises further at the company headquarters. So that in Germany and expands production. They haven't mentioned. Oh, here we go. 2020. July 2020, they moved. The U.S. headquarters was in Atlanta, Georgia, and it still is today, I believe. And that's just a brief overview of the history of Coach Chemie. That's on the CoachChemie.com USA website. Keep in mind the brand is German based, as we mentioned here, and we only have like I don't know a percentage, but it's probably not even half of the products that they sell. I think half the products they don't even sell to the public, right? There's a lot of products that they sell to commercial companies, and then of the 50%, we don't even get half of that. So it's probably like a quarter of the stuff that they get. Let's see here. I'll be using my detail code 21 mil sword old destroyer on Sunday for the first time. Nice. I have 15. I haven't even tried it yet. I'm sure it's gonna be smooth. I've heard KCX does a lot of training in Georgia. Yes, I think Sal and whoever his buddy, his partner, they just got back from Georgia and they actually just made a video today or this morning talking about briefly about how their trip was. I think they'll be showing more content about that soon, so that'll be good. Okay. So now what I want to do is kind of briefly go over the products that we have, or I have like most of them, starting from the beginning of uh, the system of when you would clean your car. So normally you would probably get bottles to fill up before you clean your car, and Coach Chemie sells bottles. I'd have to double check online the price, but let's say they're like around $9 or something like that. Someone can double check on KCX, but to be honest with you, overview, they're very good bottles, very nice and hard. They have a very good sprayer head and a bottom that's filtered, pretty good size. Not You don't see a lot of sprayer heads with a decent bottle. They have a very high output sprayer head. So if you're looking for something with a very high output, these are excellent. I haven't had any of these sprayer heads like really fail on me, even with really aggressive stuff such as I have one dedicated for Magic Wheel Cleaner, but the pH isn't too crazy. It's like a 5. And what else do I use? I use Green Star in these bottles, and yeah, these bottles are excellent. I use them all the time. If you need sprayer heads and Coach Kemi, they have the measurings right here, so you can kind of do like Labos does, and they also have pretty legible. It's very legible. It's in black. They do look like IK sprayer heads. Let me actually, now that thanks to Jamie over at the House of Rags, I have an actual IK, and now we can actually check one out. So let's come back in here, right in here, where the light's nice and perte. Okay, so now we can kind of see. They do kind of look like IK sprayer heads. So you're basically kind of getting an IK sprayer head. Does feel this? Oh yeah, it feels very similar. Can you tell which one's which? Pretty damn similar, guys. Other than this one's like black with the white back, like a woodpecker, and this one's a different woodpecker. They're both in pecking wood. But okay, so I'm getting confused here. So that does kind of look like an IK sprayer head, but let me yeah, let's. This has a weighted ball, and it looks like a much nicer filter there. Okay, it's another high output sprayer head. All right, so I'll put that back, sir. Come this way. Thank you. Yes. All right, so you filled up your products with stuff. You kind of also want to get some sort of scrubber for your interior cleaning. Let's jump it a little bit, but we're getting stuff ready. Coach Chemie sells interior scrubbers. Some might call them scrub ninjas. Some might call them scrubbing pads. This one has scrubbing on both sides, as opposed to some that might just have scrubbing and then like closed, diamond weave. This is just black scrubbing and white scrubbing, and I don't feel any difference in thickness. It's not like this one's more aggressive and this one's softer. They feel they feel the same. Okay. Then you probably want to get a couple of buckets to fill up your solution of either car wash stuff or stuff for your wheel buckets. I don't have Coach Chemie wheel buckets. In fact, I think they're sold out right now. So I can't really give you a full breakdown on their buckets, but they are black. I think they're 5 gallon. And people, I think Top Star Mobile Detailing from Vegas, I think he uses those buckets to sit on. I don't think he uses them. I think he's using the Yeti buckets now, but he still uses them to sit on. But if you don't have buckets of your own, Coach Chemie comes with stickers. Okay, they got one for the wheels, they got one for the rinse or maybe rinseless, and they got a wash. You can kind of see, if you're very close eye, you can kind of see the KCX subtly. Well, that one's a lot easier to see. Yeah, you can kind of see the KCX in the back there. And this one, yes, also says KCX. I wish it was a little stronger. That's pretty weak. That one's decent. That one's decent. And that one's just like, yeah, no, that's just way too soft. So, Coach Kemi, if you're watching this, make these better. The price is okay. I don't want to look up the price. They weren't the best, but they weren't the worst either. Let's read a little bit of chat. I like their graphene glass cleaner. Where are we? Where are we at, AK? These Canon soap works well. So does their waterless. Where are you talking about? I'm trying to focus here. All right, so let's get to this bad boy. Can we see in there? No. There's a lot of stuff, guys. It's literally filled to the brim. Let me bring the camera here. Maybe I'll just bring the camera over. So the first thing, what do you guys do first? I think tires are usually done first before you come in with the wash, and then you do the interior. What do you guys think? So let's do tires first. Normally, with Coach Chemie's procedure, they will recommend you spraying the tire with alkaline wheel cleaner, which should be right here. Alkaline wheel cleaner. This will have the highest pH, I believe, in their entire line, which is right here. It's a pH of 14. There we go. If you're not familiar how to read these things, they try to keep it up like the periodic table. Red. Let's go over that really quick. Actually, that's a good thing to go over real quick, just to kind of explain to everybody here. Let's see. KCX USA. So the red line is going to be acid cleaners and rim cleaners, because this is a very alkaline color, or it's 14. So you would think, wow, it's alkaline. Why isn't it green with the alkalines? Green is alkaline. Orange or yellowish orange is shampoos. Black is paint. Turquoise or guff is for leather and plastics interior. Okay, so this color is for fragrances. That color. And right now they only have this, or at least we only have this, and it's FU for fresh up. And then blue is glass cleaners and water processing. And then gray is rubber and plastics exterior. Okay, so just quickly, green is alkalines, yellowish orange is shampoos, red is acid cleaners and rim cleaners is why this is not green, because it's a rim cleaner. Okay, you're cleaning the rims with this. Or actually, you're supposed to be cleaning the tires with this. Or I'm not going to jump over the place. And then black is body and paint. Turquoise is leather and plastics, which I would never put Gummy Fix on. Top Star, of course, Top Star. So leather and plastics interior. This would be plastics interior. And then gray is rubber and plastics exterior. So gray is rubber and plastics exterior. And then fragrances, which is only one, so that's not too confusing. And then blue is glass and water processing. Okay. So now that we got the most core basics, let's go back to alkaline wheel cleaner, which is a pH of 14. I tend to put it in a Marilax foamer at a 1 to 10 dilution ratio. Okay, even write that down there. It's kind of wearing on me. All right. And so what you do is basically, and I'll demonstrate this stuff not tonight. I'm going to demonstrate this maybe next week, and we'll do it in groups. But this might be one of the best wheel cleaners on the market currently. You probably don't need something like this all the time. I think the recommended dilution is at least up to, so depending on how dirty, you could apply this 1 to 2 or to 1 to 10. I do it the weakest dilution because, as you know, my wheels are not crazy. This stuff is excellent. It browns the tires very well. I think their directions of use is depending on the accumulation of dirt, 1 to 2 to 1 to 10. Allow to react for a short time if required. Finish off with a brush. Rinse off thoroughly with a high pressure appliance. We will test this next week or so forth. What I tend to do is I will spray this on the tires. Okay. Kind of like you might do with ADS tire or Yum Undress or whatever. Okay, I'm trying to give you comparisons to my experience, and maybe you don't understand. Most of you probably understand, but this is for future education. What I do is I'll spray this in the foamer 1 to 10, foam it on the tire. Then I will come in with the other dedicated cleaner. Magic Wheel Cleaner, which is an acidic pH of 5.5. Let's find that in here. This is usually a smaller. Oh, it's usually smaller, but because it's so expensive, I got myself the bad boy here, okay? Save yourself. This is like, currently, this is about $150 right now for 5 liters. If you don't know, wheel cleaners tend to be extremely expensive. They're not the cheapest to make. This is RTU. You don't break this down. The pH is 5.5. I will spray this directly on the face of the wheels. Let it dwell. If you have a lot of particulates and brake dust, it will bleed like crazy. I would not recommend doing this inside if you have, unless it's extremely well ventilated. Even then, I still probably wouldn't recommend using that. It smells like, as Eddie would put it, butthole or butt cheeks. Very pungent, but it definitely works. And even then, they say basically I think they say spray it. Let me look this up, but I think they just tell you to spray it on and rinse it off. But I'll go in with a contact. Let's see, Magic Wheel Cleaner. This search on this shopping is not very easy because I was like just on the website and it's kind of like taking me out. I searched Coach Chemie Magic Wheel Cleaner and they jumped me to Nano Magic and Actifoam. So that's just really bad. All right, so let's scroll down. Search here. Magic Wheel Cleaner. They're giving me labels. Is it not in stock? Anyways, this is kind of funny right now when I'm trying to just get some instructions here. Coach Chemie, if you're watching, this is how a consumer goes through your stuff. It's not easy for the consumer. Just letting you know so you can be better at this. So we're going to go to Coach Chemie's website directly because shop does not help. Go to Magic Wheel Cleaner. It's MWC, right? Yeah, MWC. No results. Let's type in Magic Wheel Cleaner. Yes, it popped up. So MWC doesn't pop up. Off to a good start. Now let's click on the link for it. All right. It is a powerful, viscous, acid-free rim cleaner. Say it's acid-free, but the pH is 5.5. So, okay. That's not confusing, but we're going to understand it, right? We're trying to understand here. It is like a gel-like. It is very viscous. And it stinks. It smells like ass. Okay. Let's see the directions. Product information. I have to no, I don't want to download. Okay, here we go. Areas of use: painted alloy wheels, high quality chrome wheels, steel rims. So that's safe for that. Let's see, recommended for use. Do not use on hot paints, surfaces, or in direct sunlight. That's always a must, especially for wheels. Check for suitability. I've had issues getting info from KCX2. Yeah, Jason, it's not easy, especially if you're trying to read their SDS sheets and stuff. Depending on the amount of dirt, allow 2 to 5 minutes for Magic Wheel Cleaner to take effect on the rim and then rinse thoroughly using a high pressure spray. So they're basically just saying touchless, right? Spray it, wait 2 to 5 minutes, rinse. And it's usually pretty good. I still come in with a contact. It might not be very aggressive. They don't say not to. Okay, that's what I do, and they don't say not to. Okay, so that's basically their system. We got alkaline wheel cleaner, pH of 14. Okay, pH of 14. So even when I dilute this 1 to 10, that only dilutes it down 1. So it's going to be about a 13 in the foamer. Then Magic Wheel Cleaner is RTU. You don't cut this at all. It's RTU. It's fairly expensive. If you really like this stuff, maybe reach out to Ryan at Fine Detailing. I could probably check right now, but I'm going to assume he sells this in the 1 liter because I think it's either in something like this, which is really, really expensive size, 500 mils, or it's in 5 liters. So correct me, I haven't checked, but Ryan from Fine Detailing, he might sell these in 1 liters. He might. I'm not 100% sure. Then also, while I have it here, this is called Reactive Rust Remover. It's in the same line of, what is it called? Rusts and stuff. This is confusing. I want to know their line again here. Basically, Reactive Rust Remover has a pH of 7.5, so it's fairly neutral. They recommend you wasting a lot of product to spray it all over. Again, I'm pretty critical at this because I'm cheap, and this stuff is not cheap at all. Okay, and then I will get to this later, and we will. And you've seen, if you've seen some of my videos, I've used this maybe out of the 5 videos I've made, I've already used this like 2 or 3 times because I love this stuff so much. Again, back to the pungency of Magic Wheel Cleaner. First off, I don't want to jump again, but we had alkaline wheel cleaner, the pH of 14. This doesn't have a very strong smell. It's actually fairly pleasant. It's very mild. It's a kind of a light detergent smell. But this stuff smells like butt cheeks. All right. So do not do this inside unless you really like that smell. Also this too, very pungent, but they work very well. Okay. So if you're okay with it, I recommend probably using this stuff outside. The way they recommend reactive rust remover (RRR) is to basically spray it on the paint. This is their iron remover. Okay, this is their iron remover. They call it rust remover, and they want you to basically heavily douse it all over the car and watch your car bleed for like what, 3 to 5 minutes or something. Spray undiluted product onto surface. Allow it to be absorbed for around 3 to 6 minutes. Finish off, if required, with a brush or sponge. Rinse thoroughly. Now that might be changed. Finish off, if required, with a brush or sponge. Now, why wouldn't they recommend a clay bar or a synthetic clay towel? Or, okay, the last time I emailed Coach Chemie was about 9 to 10 months ago. I have an extra bottle of this. I don't know if this is the newer one or the older one. It looks like this is probably the older one because I see some use here. But my point is, I asked him because if you know Ivan is very, very cheap with his iron remover. He basically recommends one spray on the towel, one spray in the panel, and kind of go. All right. And if you do Ivan LaCroix's method, it's very efficient for this bottle. Okay, because honestly, with Ivan's method, you probably don't need more than 20 sprays probably for a decent sized car that's pretty contaminated. This stuff is it's not only is it slick, but it also just makes so much foam. Again, watch a couple of my videos. This stuff is such a pleasure to work with that I think I was able to get like half of my car or a car I used with like 3 sprays. Okay. This stuff just foamed like crazy and I knew exactly where I was and it felt great. And I was like, why would I ever spray the car like 200 sprays, waste like $12 worth of product? And then I don't feel like I'm doing anything with it unless I come in with a clay towel or a clay bar. So my method is that basically do the Ivan LaCroix method. Again, this stuff smells very bad. Ivan's smells bad, but it's like a 4 out of 10. This is like an 8 out of 10. This is very bad. If it gets on your skin, if it gets on your clothes, you're going to be smelling this for 10 hours. It's very pungent. It's very potent. This is my favorite iron remover currently at this moment. Reactive Rust Remover by Coach Chemie. Okay. So now we've clayed the car. We've washed the tires. We are choosing the soap of choice, right? And we have a number of soaps depending on the situation. Okay. Also, not to distract, but the Green Star that came in earlier, some people, before we really got familiar with the alkaline and the Magic Wheel Cleaner, some people use Green Star which is their all-purpose cleaner. Some people will put this in their wheel bucket for a little bite. Some people even just put this in a spray cannon or a spray foamer. The directions of use, depending on the dirt accumulation. Also, some people might use this like a citrus, which I don't recommend, and I'll explain to you later because there's a lot of other dedicated pre-washes that I think are designed a little bit better than Green Star. Though I see a lot of videos of people using Green Star for pre-washes or kind of like pretend this is Ivan's All Clean or if this is like Yum Citrus. It's not. There's better stuff. It works, but I would say there's very harsh degreasers in here that you just need to be careful with. I do love this stuff. I use this all over the house, 1 to 30. But let's read what they say. So they say instructions for use, depending on the dirt, vehicle exteriors and engines, 1 to 5 to 1 to 30. Apply over whole surface, allow to react for a short time, and use a high pressure cleaner to rinse off thoroughly. So basically kind of like a pre-wash, right? They didn't tell you to come in and contact and scrub away. Cleaning vehicle interiors and textiles, which I don't recommend because we have Polestar and MZR. I'll talk about that later. They interiors and textiles use 1 to 10 to 1 to 20. I don't recommend that. I recommend at least 1 to 30. 1 to 30. Remove product residues with a damp cloth or wet dry vacuum, which is a vacuum or an extractor. Workshop and industrial floors use 1 to 40 to 1 to 120. So workshop and industrial floors, 40 to or 120. Which for my floors, I tend to do 1 to 30, but I don't let it sit for very long. VDA confirmed to Class A reaction time max 5 minutes. Max application concentrate 1 to 3. So they say don't let it sit for more than 5 minutes, and don't break this down stronger than 1 to 3, or you're gonna have a bad time. Okay, I'm not really in a position to test that. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to test that. So 1 to 30 for my interiors. I don't even use it for my car interiors. I use this as an everyday APC. This does really good on my kitchen stove. It's doing really good on my floors. 1 to 30. I don't let it sit more than like 2 or 3 minutes. That's just what I do. They recommend 1 to 10 to 1 to 20. I do 1 to 30. They recommend this 1 to 5 to 1 to 30 on the exterior. I wouldn't really use this at all for maybe 1 to 20, 1 to 30. Try 1 to 5. Let me know. Tag me. I'll watch your video. Let me know what you think. Okay. I still think this is one of my favorite APCs, but I think familiarize with it first. Don't go too strong. Okay. I don't want to see some staining. I don't like seeing staining. All right. Let's see. Anything good here? I got 1,000 ml bottle of it. Their dilution ratio, it should last me a year. The grape smell is still the worst. Mondo, what are we talking about? I'm trying to catch up. Can someone give me the rundown of what I'm missing here? Anything? Any big questions? Oh, how about this? Let's do the Ivan style. If you have any questions, just do the QQQ because I'm kind of off the cuff as you see it, but I'm kind of doing it in procedure of the car being cleaned. So let's try to keep it just so I can help everybody out here. And I'm sure if you have any questions, put QQQ. I will see them now. I'm not going to scroll back. I'm just here. QQQ, the MSG above. What is that? Dan, Green Star is stronger than Polestar, right? Yes, it's definitely stronger than Polestar. Polestar has a pH of 7. Polestar is probably one of my favorite safe interior safe cleaners. Where, like I mentioned previously, I'm jumping now, but yeah, this is definitely safer. If you're looking for something a little bit more aggressive for interiors, I would recommend MZR, which is great for like dog slobber or any sort of like you ever see some of these? I really don't want to say the word disaster details, but something where you're like, oh man, how are these people living like that? That's kind of crazy. This stuff is going to be great, and I probably wouldn't even put this in a foamer. I would probably just use this in a spray bottle, like I mentioned, the Coach Chemie nice high output. I use it for Polestar when I'm just kind of like not being cheap, and I just need to spray. Like I was cleaning the baby seat yesterday and I was just getting it nice and saturated and get a good scrub going. All right, so we did the wheels, we deconned, we used our clay. Let me just show you guys what a clay. Bye bye. Let's show two methods of claying. So with reactive rust remover, okay, RRR, where are you? So reactive rust removers, they're iron remover, okay? Some people, not Ryan from Fine Detailing, but some people like to use a synthetically perforated clay towel, as someone with a mustache might pronounce it. And I think these things are excellent. I'm not going to give you the full 411 on how to use it. We all know how to use it. If you don't, ask me questions. I will show you how to store it. We'll deep dive these things later. But it's called a perforated synthetic clay towel. I have a whole bunch of them. We can compare those later. We can compare cleans. We can compare the rag company. We can compare DIY. Are they the same? Are they different? Are they worth it? Stick around for another video because we're not going to talk about that tonight. And then the second mode of deconning your towel will be with clay, okay? A clay bar can vary in coarseness. There is fine clay, there's medium clay, there's coarse clay. If you don't know do some research, ask any one of us. Christy's in the house. It's good to see you. I got this. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 clay bars and 8 tablets that give you clay lube for like $9. Do you hear that? 8 clay, 8 clay lubes for $9. Now, some people are charging $16 or $20 for a clay bar. Now, obviously, their clay bar is going to be bigger. It's going to be like a brick. But can you imagine? You can clay like 8 or 9 cars for $1 a clay. Does this work? We should see sometime, right? I'm interested. For $1 for a bottle of clay lube. Did you know that Coach Chemie sells their clay lube and it's like more than $1? Can you imagine that? Maybe we should try their clay lube and a $1 clay lube tablet and see which one does better. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, hey, Christy, if you're in here, nice to see you. Hey, Adam. Hey, whoever's here, Greg, and the whole family. We got the full house tonight. We got Coach Chemie, right? Coach Chemie's great. So what was I just talking about here? I'm losing my mind. We went over clay towels. Okay. Yes, look at all this fun stuff, guys. Look at that. So we went over clay. Now we got shampoos. Let's grab one of them. So one of their more common, more well-known shampoo is called Gentle Snow Foam, GSF. And there is a quote unquote limited edition version called GFX, which is essentially the exact same shampoo as this one, but this one has a pleasant, or might not be pleasant to you, but it has a holiday fragrance, which they say is a smell of apple spice, or they call it Christmas. It's definitely an apple spice. Okay, definitely. If you don't like spice stuff, you don't like apples, if you don't like apple spice, you won't like this. But it smells very nice, especially in the fall or when it's kind of cold out. It's really good. The price, we can talk about the price later, or we can kind of go down these things. But I kind of want to, since there's like 25 products here, kind of want to briefly go over it, and then we can kind of deep down stuff if you guys have more questions. But Gentle Snow Foam X, X for Xmas. Same shampoo, pH neutral of this one's 7.5. I believe because of the fragrance, they had to bump it up to an 8, but it's the same shampoo. Very safe. If you wash your car all the time, you're doing maintenance washes. I recommend using these in the bucket. I've been hearing, and I don't use these enough to give you my opinion on this particular situation, but people say that this does not do very well in the foam cannon. Let's try it eventually, maybe next week or this month. So I personally like these in the bucket. I think I use like 2 ounces, which is about 60 to 90 mils. So 2 to 3 ounces for 4 gallons. As a rinseless guy, you don't see me using these too much, but, and the price, they're not the most affordable for pH neutral shampoos, but they do smell very pleasant. Let's take these out just to kind of help me. So that's Gentle Snow Foam and Gentle Snow Foam X. Another option you have is reactivation shampoo, which is actually a really cool shampoo. This is basically like Yum's Reset, or give me some other acidic washes. Basically like Pan the Organizer's decontamination wash. Let me see if I straighten that out. That does better. Okay. So this is called reactivation shampoo. It has a pH of 1. Okay, pH of 1. Right, that's pretty close, pretty low on the scale. So this will basically, if you have a ceramic coating or some sort of fairly stout sealant, okay, this is a little jumping the head. But let's say we wash the car, we just decon the car with a clay and iron remover, and you're still kind of getting that flatness on the panel, and you have a ceramic coating. Let me see if I can turn this down a little bit. Turn it down. Reactivation shampoo will be excellent for you to see if there's any sort of mineral buildup that's clogging your pores in the paint. So shake your bottle. Let's give it a little pour. In fact, let's go pour the other 2 bottles, because I feel like that's a little bit of fun, guys. So you guys have a little bit of fun. You get to see it. You get to see me smell it. This smells like very citrusy, kind of like a lemon smell. This is what it looks like. Almost looks like a Sprite. Okay, pretty clear. Let me comfortably pour this back. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, so bear with me. I hope you appreciate this. Reactivation shampoo, pH of 1. Pours very well. You can see with the bubbles there, it definitely makes bubbles. Let's read the instructions. So, instructions for use: coarse dirt should be removed with an alkaline pre-cleaner, just like what we mentioned. Okay, so so first we'd probably come in with like a multi-star or any. Again, I'm jumping ahead. You're right. I'm jumping ahead. Let's take a back. Let's take this step back here because I'm forgot about the pre-washes. Bear with me. Bear with me, guys. So we decon the car. We would come in with something else like a multi-star, which has a pH of 13. So this is going to be their high alkaline um, dedicated pre-wash. Now, some people on the internet were like, "Well, what's the difference between multi-star and super foam? Like, what? I don't get it. Like, super foam's pH is like 12, and multi-stars is like 13. Like, I don't get it, man." Well, from what I've been told, Superfoam is pretty much similar to Multistar, except there's lubricity added into this. So you can use this as a contact as well. So you can foam it on. It does give you that high, and it gives you a little bit better dwell time on the paint. So Multistar is going to kind of like it's like pretty much their full-on sledgehammer. Okay, so Multistar MS is their sledgehammer. That's their like GT Decon. That's their ADS Decon. That's their I guess Yum Foam. I don't know. But basically, that's their sledgehammer, multi-star. And then this is their also kind of a sledgehammer, but just slightly less, right? But this has the ability to not only foam, but you can come in with a nice contact. So if you're doing it full on crazy, I would um, so with multi-star in the foam cannon with multi-star you can do it 1 to 10, which is recommended, and then in a sprayer like a Marilex sprayer, you don't need to foam this. In a Marilex sprayer, it's recommended 1 to 50. Let's see if it'll follow me again. Yeah, 1 to 50 in a sprayer, or 1 to 10 in a foamer for a standard dilution foamer. I'm expecting you to just have a normal pressure washer. If you're like Jason and you're doing like 4.8 gallons per minute, my advice might not be fully accurate. What's up, Chelsea? How are you doing? What's up, Three Rivers? But Superfoam, as you see, thanks to Ryan from Fine Detailing, I've been able to obtain this without having to spend lots of monies on a 5 liter just to try it. Because as you see, my car probably doesn't need this very often unless I'm prepping for a ceramic coating or some sort of spray sealant that's very stout, which I'm going to do a lot of steps later. So Superfoam, yeah, so pre-wash either Superfoam, Multistar, or both, whatever. If you have more intricate questions, put them in the chat here. I'll see if I can see them. Do a quick brief. QQQ, put QQQ in the chat if you have any questions. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead with Gentle Snow Foam. This is supposed to smell, let's just do it, guys. Let's just do it. Thanks to Ryan from Fine Detailing for sending me a 1 liter. I bought it, of course, but the fact that he breaks them down and gives you the ability to buy them for like pretty similar price too. Ooh, that's very pleasant. It's kind of like a shampoo, but like a hair shampoo. I thought it was going to smell like bananas. It does not smell like bananas. I think that's Nano Magic shampoo that smells like bananas. This smells like it's not like Pantene Pro V, but it's something like that, like a Pantene or a. This smells good. I want to try this. This smells really good. I'm happy with that. Let's see how it pours, shall we? Let's just get a new pouring thing. I got a whole pile here so we don't contaminate and cross contaminate. We see brand new. I've never used this. You saw me open it for the first time. Pours pretty well. Drips pretty well. Nice and clear. You can kind of see the surfactants in there. Pretty good smell. I'm really bad with fragrances, but this is not like a fragrance I've smelled from Coach Chemie. It has a bit of a floral, pretty floral, very bubbly. It's hard pouring it back in here without it. Yeah, it's already pouring over because of the bubbles. Very high bubble surfactants here. You see it. Okay, I wonder if I'm gonna have to continue making messes, but it's okay for the sake of the show, right? For the sake of the show must go on. All right, so that's super foam and that's multi-star. So once we came in with the pre-wash and the agrastic uh, alkaline. So those are the high alkaline washes. They got multi-star, which is pretty much dedicated as a pre-wash, recommended 1 to 10 in a foamer or around 1 to 50 to 1 to 100 in a sprayer. If you're cheap and you wash a lot of cars, the sprayer is goated. Okay, 1 to 50, you don't need very much product. If you like using products because you have a lot, try the foamer. It's really nice in the foamer. Super foam, we haven't tried it. We will try that eventually. Okay, now we got one. We got one of my favorite products in the line. I'm kind of jumping, but I just grabbed it. Okay, so just bear with me. So we did pre-washes, and maybe we don't like foam. Maybe we hate soap, and we just have a sting against soap. So we go in and we grab Coach Chemie's Rapid Rinseless Wash. Okay, this is their rinseless wash. It's a pH of 4. Okay, this is not a pH. This is not a neutral wash. Okay, the smell is pretty good. They say it smells like iced tea. You kind of can smell the iced tea. It does have like a subtle, but to me it smells more cologne. It has more of a cologne smell. I like this a lot. When I first tried this, I bought four. They don't sell this in the 5 liter. They only sell this into United States as a 1 liter. I bought 4 of them. Just I just bought 4 of them. I was like, yes, yes. Largely because well, I was just getting into it, and this was an acidic rinseless, and I was like, I really like acidic rinselesses because it kind of really helps with the mineral deposits. Really nice for a winter rinseless washing. Dan, I used luminous mint. What is you saying? What are you saying, Chelsea? It just pops and deletes, so I can never see it. All right, AK. Not gonna lie, Nemesis V2 smells like herbal essences. You know, this super foam might be smelling like herbal essences. Chelsea, Dan, I used luminous mint the first time today. It smells better coming out the foam cannon versus in the bottle. Oh, very interesting. I think if I did my video, I think I foamed it and I contacted. I can't remember, and it was a little cold, so I don't think I was getting the best smells. Um, but yeah, so wrap the rinseless wash, pH of 4, cloudy. Let's see how it pours. Some people don't like shampoo. Some people like rinseless wash. Like me. All right, let's see how this pours. We will deep dive all these products later on a later video. From here, it's whitish. You can kind of see a blue hue to it. Right on the edges of the line, you can kind of see the blue. But overall, it's whitish. When you pour it into the water, it does create cloudy blue, which I think is kind of nice. It might not be the best for showing dirt removal. Again, we will deep dive all of these later. Especially one of my favorite. This isn't definitely in my top 10. Probably in my top 5. We did reactivation shampoo. Let's pour some gentle. Most people probably have seen gentle snow foam, but you may have not. So let's do that. Let's get the lid off. Let's pour GSF next to GSX and see if there's a difference. What's up, Jeff? We got GSF for Jeff right here. Most people see it's usually like a brownish, I think. Nope, it's not the right one. This is gentle snow foam. It has like a lime green, and you can see kind of the bubbles are very still in there. Ooh, that smells good. It smells like is that maraschino cherries or? Oh, that's almost smells like iconic rinseless. I forgot what this smells. This smells actually really good. I forgot the smell. I think this might be like cherries. I forgot that's why I like this so much because this smells great. It bubbles really good, but it's really expensive. So I probably won't be buying more of it anytime soon, just because, like I mentioned, it's not really very cost affordable. So this was like a lime green. Let's see if GFX has any sort of difference to that. CES is the same color. Okay, Mondo. Well, I'll get into that soon, and I love CES. That's a ceramic effect shampoo. I like that one a lot. Again, apple cinnamon. Will it be brown? To me, apple cinnamon is brown. Oh, it is brown. It's like maple syrup. And it has a syrupy look. Very brown. I do like that smell. Very, very. I like fall smells. I'm a fan of fall. I'm a fan of spice and everything nice. Pours. It again. We'll deep dive this stuff, but I'm not the biggest fan of the pour. I think GSF poured a lot better than GFX. Okay, totally different. Even though they say the soap is supposed to be basically the same, except for they said it's instead of 7.5, it's 8 because of this fragrance. But to me, it looked completely different. I don't know about you guys. What do you think? Write that down in your comments. What do you think? GSF is best. GFX brown. Greg, Christy loves mint soap. Christy, I'm with you. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't hate mint. I love the color. I love the color mint. But I like a lot of other fragrances. Okay. So we went over 4 or 5 shampoos. There's another shampoo here. CES. Wow. Who just said that? Mondo? Or someone? Anyways, I'll read these later. I can read the chat later. I don't know if anybody watches these videos later, but I'm pretty certain that the chat remains once it's like finished uploading. Usually it takes like 20 hours to upload these long lives. So Ceramic Effect Shampoo. This is another acidic, not dedicated as a decon, but more of a ceramic boosting shampoo. This would be kind of like for the shampoos for people who, like we just did. We did a high alkaline. We're basically trying to refresh the coating. Okay, if you drive, you don't maintain your car very often, or maybe you do. Let's say you don't. If you don't, you're doing that big pre-wash, right? Either super foam or multi-starter or both. You come in, and then you come in either with reactivation shampoo, because maybe you feel like it's still clogged. But if it's not clogged, you will come in with CES, which is basically a slightly acidic to kind of break away the minerals, but also has some sort of properties in there. They call it ceramic effect because when you use this, it gives your car a ceramic effect look. That's literally what they've said. Okay. It's not that doesn't mean that there's ceramic in it. Okay. They literally just means it's because it looks like it gives you a ceramic effect. That's so they called it ceramic effect shampoo. Okay. So care shampoo with long-term sealing effect. So there's maybe some sealants in here. Direction of use: heavily soiled surfaces be pre-clean, like we just mentioned. Multi-star, super foam. Dilute shampoo for hand washing in a bucket, which is recommended. Most of these, like ceramic, particularly ceramic effect, I've been told won't perform as you probably want in a foam can. And though you can do it, you just because of the properties, foaming is there's not very much foaming in this product. Okay, so if you're buying CES, don't expect a lot of foam, and that's okay. Okay. Ba ba ba. So dilute shampoo for hand washing in a bucket, 1 to 50. So basically 50 mils, which is about an ounce and a half, for 10 liters of water, which is like 2.5 gallons. Okay. So basically an ounce and a half for 2.5 gallons. And then lather briefly. So basically they want you to pour it in the bucket, use your pressure washer, get some suds going, and then just kind of go to town. You're basically just doing it kind of as a seal. Okay. This is basically their sealant, like a sealant shampoo. That makes sense. Do not allow the product to dry. Like most of these things with sealants, you don't want it to dry. You're just not going to have a good time. Talk to HydroSave if you need some questions. Blah 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 blah. Do not allow the product to dry. Finally, dry the vehicle with the Pro drying towel. I'm going to assume that the Pro drying towel is Coach Chemie's drying towel. I don't have the drying towel. If you want to send me one, I'll be happy to try it. Do not use on warm surfaces or in the sun. Yes. Basic no. No hot cars, no hot surfaces, no direct sunlight. Okay? If you don't know what those 3 things are, take a step back. But most of you are in advanced. We're in the advanced class. This isn't 101 over here. This is 403, okay? We're up there. So ceramic effect shampoo. If you didn't understand that, ask somebody in the chat. We'll be happy to help you. Moving on, moving on. So just to kind of peek at what we got here, we went over the alkaline wheel cleaner. Yes, we did. We went over magic wheel cleaner. Shout out to Don. Shout out to Don with Detailed Sus Nation. Thanks for the awesome merch. Green Star. So Green Star, we went up. Did we go over Green Star enough? Does anyone have any more questions for Green Star? If not, I will go. I will pass Green Star. But I think we kind of went over Green Star. Thanks, Unpolished. Yeah, the shirt is pretty dope. Franco, the Don. Um, is he talking about PW? Are you talking about protector wax? That'll be towards the end when we're done washing. We're getting there, AK. We're getting there. We just finished washing the car, okay? And the different ways we wash it. We wash it as a generic maintenance wash. We wash it as a reset, okay? Resetting, basically demineralizing your car. If you don't know what reset means, usually in the car industry, to reset means to basically either completely remove the sealants in your car, which ceramic coating, you can't just do that. You'd have to physically abrase. But let's say you have just, protectant sprays. A reset should normally knock out most of those, okay, unless they're particularly stout. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole and that stuff, but we're basically telling you the different properties of car washing. Once we do that, what is this one? Oh, jump back a couple of bits. So this is actually my favorite pre-wash. I know. Didn't you just say there's only like 2 pre-washes in Coach Chemie? Now you're really confusing me. Yes, you're right. I did just say there's basically 2 pre-washes. And technically I still am right. Multi-Star is their pretty much straight dedicated pre-wash. They just want you to spray it on it, don't touch it, don't let it dry, and spray off, and it's supposed to be a sledgehammer. That's their sledgehammer. Like the niche of Superfoam, they give you the ability to touch it, gives you a little better dwell time, but it's not a full-on sledgehammer, which I feel like most people would probably reach for Superfoam other than Multi-Star, unless you're like a professional and you see some really gnarly stuff, Multi-Star all day. Now, people like me who really like a nice pre-wash but doesn't need to like totally like nuke their car, but also loves a crazy nice fragrance, but also wants a pre-wash that actually does something. This one is in my top 3 favorite products of the entire line. This is Coach Chemie's Active Foam. Okay. The Active Foam pH is not super aggressive. It's a 9.5, just enough bite to kind of get to what you're at, but also not too crazy that if you're not super experienced, or maybe you're in an environment where it's you don't have like you're not out of the sun, or you're just really not comfortable with the car maybe drying with Multi-Star, or you just don't have Multi-Star, or maybe you don't have Superfoam. Active Foam for 5 liters. Get yourself some, okay? Get yours. Come on, brother. Come on. Jesus. Come on, brother. We're coming. He just died over here. What are you doing? All right, I'm right here. Come slowly. Yeah, there we go. All right. This is an old man. I'm dealing with man tonight. There we go, brothers. All right. So Active Foam. This is like, okay, I bought this last year on sale because, again, look for sales. This was like $48. I think it's like $58 or $60. $60 is still an excellent buy. You don't need very much. It foams like crazy in the pressure washer. And, oh my God, you're killing me tonight, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. If I had to choose between Active Foam or Gentle Snow Foam, which is pushing almost $100 for a pH neutral soap, which one do you think I'm going to choose? Okay, a soap that actually cleans, that you can still come in with a contact, Active Foam, or just a neutral soap foam that kind of smells good too, but doesn't really clean, but it gives you that lubricity to kind of come into contact, and it's twice the price. Which one would you choose? Okay. Anyways, so Active Foam, dude, this is probably the best smelling on the entire line, and they have like 5 or 6 smells that are excellent. This is by far my favorite. It has a very strong cologne. I was at Target last week and I noticed their clearance section, and they had some Glade fragrances, and one of them said like juniper and pine or something. And I sprayed it, and I swear to God, that smelled exactly like Actifoam. So I bought like two of those. I'll take a photo of it. If you guys are curious, I'll put it in Discord. And you let me know if you own Actifoam. Go buy a Glade Juniper and Pine. I'll show you the bottle. I'll take a photo. I'm not going to post on YouTube and spam, but or if you find me on Facebook, I'll send you a message of the photo. Anyways, I couldn't believe it. I basically found this smell, and this smell is addicting. Okay, Actifoam, pH of 9.5. Pours very well. There's no syrupy pour to it. Very watery, I guess. Viscous or not viscous. It's very clear, kind of like a amber. I don't have good lights here. Like a nice amber. We'll deep dive all of these later, okay? I expect to give each of these their own spotlight. We're just kind of going over a brief overview. Okay. So Actifoam, pH of 9.5. My favorite pre-wash. If you don't have heavily bad cars, let's say you wash your car once a week. I would, depending on the situation, let's just say you get average dirt, probably do this once a month. Okay. This is probably once a month. If you like it all the time, do it all the time. I'm not going to stop you. If you see, I don't see any wears in my seals, but then again, I do this, once every 3 or 4 washes. I don't go too crazy. All right, what are we doing in the chat? Any QQQs? Oh, let's see. What do you all think of PS Frostbite? Is that PNS Frostbite? That's their pre-wash, right? I think it's. I haven't tried it yet. I like using Multistar. It's nearly a touchless wash. Yes, Chelsea, definitely is. And I have Bill Hammer touchless too. We could, again, I'm gonna say this like 20 times, but within this month or within the next couple of lives, we'll be trying these things out. And maybe, that's a good segment. We can do a Multistar, a Super Foam, and Bill Hammer touchless, and we can compare all three as a touchless, and then if we have more time, we can compare multi or whatever. That's it. Getting ahead of myself. I struggle with strong pine spices type smells. Oh, AK, perfect shoe in for that. So we just spoke about Actifoam, AF, pH of 9.5. If you want pretty much what I just mentioned, a mildly efficient pre-wash that's really affordable, they also sell that exact product without any fragrance, and that is called Auto Shampoo. And I'm not sure if they sell it in the 1 liter. They might. Let's double check. Let's just double check, right? KCX, there it is. So Auto Shampoo, they sell it in the 5 liter for like $35. It's a buy. If Actifoam didn't smell so good, I would debate whether I should spend that extra $10 just for fragrance. But honestly, it's that good that I don't even think about it. Auto Shampoo is $36.99, $37 for 5 liters, and it's the exact same thing as Actifoam. It just doesn't have any smell. Yeah, Auto Shampoo is $36, and I think Actifoam is $22 for a 1 liter, and it's $79 now. Okay, I got that for $48 9 months ago. $48. And now it's $78. I got it on sale for 48. It was like 54 or something. It was like $54. What's up, Chris M? How you doing? Yeah, Auto Shampoo is definitely cheap. So if I didn't care for fragrances, or if I didn't care too much, and I was like, you know what, I don't care. I'm not paying $10, or it's 78. This is $78 now. This isn't $10 anymore. This is almost twice the price, right? One's $35 and one's $80. Now that I know this, if I didn't have like 2 years worth of Actifoam, I don't know if I would get it again, because Auto Shampoo is so much more affordable. So that is something to think about. All right. Okay. So now we want to seal our car, AK. So what do? We come in with two of their main. It's gotta be this one then, right? Yeah. So another good question a lot of people like to say, like, what the hell is the difference between protector wax and SOO3? Now, from what I'm telling, S means silicon. O3, if I'm not mistaken, I think that means this is their third version. And then this is 9 is their gloss or something. I have to check. Let me know. I think 9.2 means that's their gloss. Dan, did you get that paste wax? Which one? Which one? Eddie's sending me one. He sent it out today. I'll probably get it on Wednesday. And I got the Luminous Luxury. And if you're talking about KCX's 01 or whatever, I don't have that. It's like $160. And it's always in my cart and it's never on sale. And yeah, it's hard. That's a hard buy. That's a hard buy. That's a hard buy. KCX, send me a bottle or send me some paste wax. I'll check it out, man. So what's the difference between these two? This one doesn't have any numbers on it. Their pH is 4.5, another acidic sealant. Okay. This is 0. I don't know what that means. There's no way this is like a 0 pH. I'm confused. I'll do some research when I watch this later. But basically, to keep this simple and to keep this sweet, this one has a little bit more protection, a little bit more of like a ceramic look. This one has more of a gloss, like a glow, kind of more of like a wax look. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no wax in this, even though the name Protector Wax. The gold line, I forget exactly what this gold line means. I think this means protector because they didn't even have this on the KCX USA website, the gold line. I need to go through all the periodic tables again. And let's read these things real quick. So for hydrofoam, let's do hydrofoam sealant first because hydrofoam sealant, I believe this is their newer product. I think this has only been here for about a year, maybe a year and a half. I think Protector Wax has been in the United States for about 2, maybe 3 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're always welcome to correct me. Do some research while be my AI. But I'll go over this in a second. So SO03, this is the newer one. I think it's less than a year in our hands, and it's very similar application. I personally, if I'm cheap, you can use this in a sprayer, right? Either in like literally in a pump, or you can do like a Marilax or an IK, or for funsies, for both of these. Okay, I'm pretty much mentioning both of these. You can use this in a foam can, and you get quite the show for at least Protector Wax. Okay, instructions. Dilute 1 to 50 to 1 to 150. So either 50 to 150, around that range, with water and apply with a cleaned, still wet. What does it say? Apply with water and apply to the cleaned, still wet vehicle using a foam sprayer or pump sprayer, just like I mentioned. So basically, both of these products are a spray on, rinse off sealant once your car is finished being washed. Okay. You come in with your pre wash, you rinse. Come with your contact, you rinse. Car is still wet. Now we come in with a spray on, rinse off sealants. Okay. The convenience of this. Instead of having to dry your car and hand buff, and you might miss some areas, the convenience of being able to pour this into a foam cannon or a pump sprayer, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then rinse off. And now your car has 3 to 6 weeks of protection. I think this one's supposed to be like 1 to 2 months. The cut. Oh, I'm sorry. On Coach Chemie, they have like cut and gloss. The cut here is 0, which should be because it's just a sealant, and the gloss is a 9. So that's the cut. I think that's the cut. So cut is 0, and the gloss is a 9. This one again confusing because it has neither, and there's no gloss scale on this either. Okay. So Coach Chemie, I'm hoping you're just taking notes because as a consumer who doesn't work for you, this is how, and this is a person who's like basically tisms in your brand. So I spend a lot of time and a lot of energy learning your stuff, and I do my best to try to understand it correctly so I can educate other people that don't have tism time to study your stuff. And these are the things that confuse us. So if you guys can, I see you guys responding to it, but if you guys can do what you can to kind of keep it a little bit more understanding for all of us, that would be a fortunate because we like your stuff. We just want to use it. Now, protector wax, I didn't go over protector wax. Blah, blah, blah. See, okay, so apply undiluted in a dosing pump. Now, that sounds confusing, right? I don't know exactly what a dosing pump is to them, but Griot's, my Griot's Boss foam cannon, does have a dosing part here, which I don't see many pressure washer foam cannons have. Josh does not have this. ADS Drift does not have this. The Apex from that detail guide does not have this. But if you do have a Boss, they have. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. I'm not going to deep dive into this, but basically, um, they're right around here. Wish I was a little taller. I could see this a little bit easier. Ah, no, these are from my Marillac. So basically, I should have been a little bit more organized. So basically, they have these little metering tips that will help you dose either more or less product. So essentially, you can literally just plug this bad boy directly into your foam cannon and go to town. Okay, that's pretty badass, right? And yeah, you're putting out a lot of product, especially if you're not putting in the right metering tip. And that could be a whole episode itself, trying out different metering tips and seeing how it outputs. But if you're cheap like me and you realize this is, again, when I bought this was pushing $30. Now I think it's $40. Okay, so it's not cheap for this bottle. You kind of think to yourself, well, how can I make this stretch as long as possible? How can I do this, Dan? Dan, did you just say this is $40? Like, what are you doing over here? How can you justify this thing? Well, as I just mentioned, don't put it in a foam cannon because that's going to waste the most product, but it will give you the most show. It'll make it like crazy. If you are impatient, there is a short of me putting this on a black car in one of my shorts, and I made a video of this in cold weather. It performs better in the summer when it's warmer. It gives like a nice sizzling noise. Again, we'll deep dive all this stuff later. But basically, their instructions say undiluted or in a ratio up to 1 to 2 in the way I just did not recommend using. Then 13 to 19 milliliters. What does it say? Foam wax, 13 to 19 millimeters. Premium wax, 16 to 23 milliliters. Self-service car wash and manual use. Low pressure and foam cannon. 1 to 200, 1 to 500 final dilution. So that sounds very confusing for someone who is like, what does that mean? So my interpretation is this is basically being used in a commercial car wash place where they're basically dosing chemicals depending on the usage. And they're saying if you want a premium wax or just pretty much more output, you're adding essentially 16 to 23 mils, which is still less than an ounce per car wash. Low pressure and foam cannon. Low pressure and foam cannon. To me, 1 to 200 to 1 to 500. Again, that's very confusing. If you could basically write this, Coach Chemie, if you're listening, this is extremely confusing to people, and I'm basically tismed on your brand. So if I'm confused, and I use this all the time, what I do is I basically will pour 2 ounces into 500 milliliters and go to town, right? Go to foam town, and it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy on the paint. But if I'm being cheap, I will do a 1 to 50 to 1 to 100 into a sprayer and kind of spray. It won't get nearly as the effect that you will in a foam cannon, but I still get the sizzling. I still see the effect, and I still rinse it off. So any notes, if anyone's listening, that's great if you run a car wash, but most people holding a bottle like this, we don't run a car wash machine company thing. So please change the label so we can understand a little bit better. All right, so we just sealed our car. Oh, there's still some other sealants here. We got SOO2. Do I have an extra bottle of that? Yes, we got Sir, I'm over here, sir. Sir, come this way. Okay. So SOO2. I saved this because this is my second bottle. This is unopened. I bought one bottle and it was like $32. Now I think it's almost like $40 for this little bottle. Okay, not cheap. So I poured it in some other bottle so I wouldn't waste it. Basically, I think I dropped it and the sprayer head cracked, and I just salvaged whatever I could use. Okay, so let's go over. This is called SOO2. S, I believe, is for the silicon. O2, I believe it's for their second iteration. And the 9 is for gloss. And or is it? I think their gloss is not 9, but it's 9.9. So this is going to be even higher gloss, and 0 for the cut. So we're starting to understand that's cut, that's gloss. All right, can you see that? The camera, focus, please. There we go. Okay, this is their spray sealant. So this is not a spray and rinse. This is once you've dried off the car. This is going to give you a lot more protection than protector wax or SOO3. If you're doing this, do not do this after protector. To keep it simple, you always put your strongest sealant on first, and then you kind of layer. If you even do, you layer your less strength sealant. So if this is stronger, you probably will put this on first, and then you add like protector wax on a later car wash or something like that. Okay. So let's deep dive in this a little bit. Recommendations for use: spray 1 or 2 sprays onto clean and dry paint surface. So this is not when it's wet, it's already dried. Do not do this component by component, which means panel by panel. Okay, and divide large surfaces such as a bonnet or front hood of a car, because that's where we're in America. Okay, we don't have bonnets, we have hoods. And again, just change the wordage for the English people. You have this isn't written in German. Just if it's in English, just change it for English words. I don't know. Like 2 seconds, right? You just this is a multi-million-dollar company. You could just have a team to just write the labels for the English side. Why is that so hard? Sorry. Anyways, blah blah blah. So panel by panel, even on the bonnet, right? Even on the hood, they say split it up. My hood isn't terribly big, but let's say most people have very big front hoods. So even split that up, because they don't want you to mess this up. After a brief evaporation time, they don't give you this like a designated evaporation time. Polish off all residues with a clean microfiber. So basically, spray, let it sit for, I would say, let's just say a couple seconds, like no more than 20 seconds, depending on if it's very humid or if it's very windy. You be the judge, but let's just say a short brief moment and then buff it off. Okay, and shake well. This stuff is, from what I remember, I haven't used this in months, but it was very glossy. I hope to try this again, guys. Maybe sometime soon. I still have, oh, and I have it cut 1-to-1. I think I'm this might be cut 1-to-1. I should have dated this. This isn't very new. This is either cut 1-to-1 or my interpretation 1-to-1 means straight. So yeah, just full disclosure, I'm not 100% sure. Let me just put that here because I have. All right, so are we done with the sealants? Oh, and the first thing is I wanted to. Let's take a break, guys. Let's just take a break. So let's wind it back 88 minutes ago when we first started the stream. If we're doing a full car wash, even before the wheels, we probably will wash the engine, right? We wash the engine even before the wheels. We don't wash the engine very often, but if we're doing a full car wash, we tend to do the engine first, right, guys? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but we do the engine first. The Green Star will be your best friend there. When I was saying, oh, use multi-star, use Superfoam, this is where I would put Green Star, 1-to-10 to 1-to-5. If you haven't seen, if the car engine bay hasn't been washed in 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, where you go mudding all the time, 1-to-5 to 1-to-10. If you wash your car engine bay every 3 to 5 months, like me, probably 1-to-10 to 1-to-20 is probably still fine. Okay, you be the judge of your own car. So what I would do is I'd probably take do that dilution ratio I recommended, spray it onto the bay, Again, we'll deep dive this later. We'll just deep dive this later. So Green Star, I like Green Star for the engine bay. Once you clean the engine bay, which we can make a whole episode about that, probably one of the chemicals out there that has very little competition. Some people use a tire glaze, some people use a exterior leather plastic trim, but this is called Motorplast and it's designated for engine bay finishing. I don't know a lot of products out there that will compete with Motorplast. Is it cheap? No, it's not cheap, but this stuff goes a long way. Essentially, clean the car or engine bay, rinse it. Once it's still wet, blow dry some of the pooled water in areas. Kind of come in with some wind, and then while it's still wet, kind of lightly, get a fair amount of product onto the engine bay. This stuff is, I believe, pink, which doesn't really matter. Kind of smells like a chemical, cherry chemicals, and this also. So Actifoam, Actifoam is my top three. Motorplast is very. I don't know any other products out there that are like Motorplast. I did an engine bay cleaning video. It's doing pretty well, and I used Motorplast. If you're itching to see how that reacts, check out my video called "Basic Engine Bay Cleaning." And if not, you might have to wait a week or two for when it was actually pretty warm today. Okay, I'm wearing like t-shirt and shorts. It was actually pretty nice out. So I'm hoping probably towards the end of this month. God, it's already the 20th. Maybe the beginning of next month starts warming up. I think we might do a little bit more thorough cleaning and we'll bust this bad boy out. Pretty fun. Okay, so that's Motorplast. That's another engine finishing. Engine. So basically, the silver. I think if I had to recall, this is exterior or engine silver, and it's engine for this one. How are you guys doing, guys? Everyone still here? Everyone alive and frisky? What's up, Mondo? Yeah, man. Us Americans call it a hood. Brants, I know my rants could again, I'm not trying to push any buttons. I just want these brands which I care for a lot to just be the best that they can be. That's all. So just two sealants for the paint, right? Just two rinse, spray and rinse sealants, and then they got SOO2, which we went over, and double check. They might have some more in there. Okay, now the quick detailers. I have a couple ordered and they will arrive, I think, on Wednesday. So I have a package of Coach Chemie. I dropped like another couple $100 to get pretty much the products that I'm missing that are still in stock. But the detail spray that I use all the time, when I mean all the time, pretty much when I'm washing this car for demonstrations, and if you notice, I'm basically just washing one side of the car, and there's like a lot of water and residue, and my water isn't the softest here. So what I will do is when I'm done with the show, I go a little bit behind the scenes, and I will come in with FSE, which is they call it finish spray exterior. What FSE is basically, this is their lime scale remover quick detailer. Okay, this is another. So we just mentioned Motorplast. There's very few products out there that are competing with Motorplast for a number of particulars. I don't get into it. We'll deep dive later. Same thing with this. This is an acidic quick detailer. You hear that? An acidic quick detailer. That means that if you see water spots that are just very soon, let's just say you're out in the field, you're washing the car, it's windy, you're not using DI water because you're just not balling like that. Like not everyone has DI water all the time. Okay, even I don't run DI water. If you're just worried and it's windy, things start to dry, do a final spray. Okay, spray a little bit on the panel, wipe it off like 5-10 seconds. You don't need to sit very long. This is the pH of this. It doesn't say it here, which again, Coach Chemie, you have pHs on most of them. I looked this up today. The pH is 2. Okay, so it's up there or it's down there, right? Wear gloves. It's an acid. Wear gloves. But this stuff is just excellent. It smells super good. It's very lubricious. This is slicker than Amplify, I think. This is slicker than What other quick details I like? It's not slicker than Yum. It's not slicker than Garage Therapy Quick 2, but it's pretty close. Like I used this the other day and I forgot how slick this stuff is. Okay, so it's a nice cloudyish blue, very similar to Rapid Rinseless Wash. I did almost double check to see. Has a kind of a cherry smell. I think this. I at first I didn't care for the smell. It's grown to me. It's grown on me. So that's FSE. This is probably my most common quick detailer. Then they have. Can I go on my computer real quick? I'm gonna go over the other quick detailers I don't have. There is two ones that might confuse people. There's QF and then there's QS. Okay, quick finish. Okay, so there's quick and shine and there's quick finish. Now, Dan, what the hell? How many? Why? What's the difference? They're basically the same thing. Yes, technically they kind of are, except the S and QS, so quick and shine. The S means silicon. Okay, I don't know if S always means silicon. But for QS, the quick and shine, the S stands for silicon. And then quick finish, the F, I don't know if the F stands for anything, but there's no S. So it means there's silicon free. And if you actually click the bottle, it says all around finish spray, silicone oil free. So if you're in a body shop or you're in an area where you can't have silicone in the air, you will probably want quick finish. It's basically kind of like, and does it have protection? Does finish have protection? I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. All around talent for all smooth paint serve vehicle paintwear, blah, 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 blah. Quick finish runs off quickly without leaving streaks and therefore easy to apply. Previously applied polishes and waxes are retained. Is particularly well suited for quick finishing and exhibited goods in showrooms or at trade fairs as a quick velveting of vehicles. Also suitable for use in painting applications. Painting applications. What does that mean? Areas of use: vehicle paintwork, painted wood, glass, plastic parts, consoles, painted furniture, and musical instruments. Stainless steel surfaces. So this is quick finish I'm talking about. Musical instruments. I have a trumpet. I should try that out. I did play trumpet for about 11 years. Did marching band. I did jazz band. I did I was basically in the pit crew when the plays going on. I was under the stage playing my little trumpet. I've done a lot of stuff over the years. So let's see here. Recommendation use. So I said so spray evenly on the surface to be treated and polish off with a microfiber cloth. So basically, like we just did with FSE, kind of spray on the paint, briefly let it sit and kind of buff it out. Okay, you're not using this as a cleaner. This is basically just a straight, quick detailer. I didn't see any mentioning of level of protection. It looked like you can use on stainless steel, like on your refrigerators or your musical instruments. They said painted surfaces. So I'm trying to think of areas that are painted. Can you think of any painted surfaces? Now, for quick and shine, I'm going to assume that they're going to mention some sort of protection because of the silicone, but it could just be for lubricity. So let's see. So it's an all-around quick detail for an all smooth and painted surfaces. Vehicle paintwork, painted wood, glass, plastic parts, consoles, painted furniture, musical instruments, stainless steel surfaces. Essentially the same thing. Cleans, maintains, and preserves in a single step. So I'm not going to say this, but to me, it sounds like it's a waterless wash quick detailer. Okay, from so far what I'm interpreting, the surfaces receive a color deepening and a streak-free brilliant gloss. Finger marks and light dirt are removed quickly and easily. So finger marks and dirt. That sounds like a waterless wash, right? What do you guys think? Blah blah blah, and then and are protected from becoming dirty again quickly. Lotus effect in quotes. Lotus effect. They don't say anything about silicon yet. Quick and shine is quickly removed and is therefore easy to use. Previously applied veneers or waxes are preserved. When they say veneers, I'm guessing like furnitures. Okay, so maybe your furniture is waxed or sealed. Particularly suited for quick finishing of exhibited goods in showrooms or at fairs, as well as quick valeting of vehicles. When they say valeting, to me that also means waterless wash, Let me know what you think. With Delmer approval. I don't know what Delmer approval means. With Delmer approval. I do not know what the hell that means. Areas of use, as we mentioned, pretty much the exact same as quick finish. Not once did they mention silicone in here. And then on the bottle, it says all around finish spray. Does not say silicone. In the description, it doesn't say silicone. You're just supposed to know that the S means silicone. I hope you're taking notes, Coach Chemie, because it's very confusing. Okay. And that, I think, is their quick detail. If I type in quick detail, see what pops up. Yeah, David, what does Dahmer mean? I typed in quick detailer on KCX USA and nothing pops up. What if I type in QD? QD. Search. You say Dahmer approved. Not that Dahmer, Brant. That Dahmer isn't breathing anymore. All right, so those are the sealants. Now, we also have an exterior plastic. Hello. Hello there, sir. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on here. All right. So they have an exterior trim restorer that some people, before we had certain products like tire glaze or motor plast, people were using plastar silicone. Oh, look at that word, silicone free, plastar silicone free, or as Pan the Organized likes to overpronounce things, plastar, whatever he says. Sorry about that. I'm getting silly now. It's like almost, it's over an hour and a half. I'm getting silly, guys. So Plastar is really, I like this a lot. I don't have the most experience on comparing ex, ex external plastics and rubbers. They don't say rubbers, they just say external plastic. I put this on the front of my hood where the wipers are. There's a lot of plastic there. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of plastic on the car, which is nice because I don't like a lot of plastic on cars. It looks really cheap to me. But yeah, so I don't have a lot of plastic here, but I have it on the front, and I have some plastics kind of like right here, right? This stuff really deepens the. It just makes it look brand new. I usually use this with a sponge. Let's see what they say. Recommendations for use: use with a sponge to apply evenly to the clean, dry surfaces. Rub in thoroughly and leave to dry completely. Before using, check suitability and compatibility. Do not use on surfaces where slipperiness is undesirable. So, like the pedals, steering wheel, the tires. Okay, so don't do that. And then VOC safe application dilution is 1 to 5. So you can dilute this up to 1 to 5. I haven't tried that. I've used it pretty much straight. I think also I read someone mentioning trying this in a spray bottle. I don't know. Has anyone tried PSS? Plastar. Very good stuff. This last to me, I think this lasts like 3 months around. I'm not in a very high UV, very intensive area like a Texas or Arizona. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. My weather's very temperate, very mild. I'm getting some pretty good longevity of Plastar. And again, people were using this as like a tire glaze before we had tire glaze. So we just washed the car, we deconned it, we washed the wheels, we dried it, we polished it with our quick detailers and whatnot. Now the tires are dry, and let's say we did the interiors because this is the final. And I'm just shooing in because we're just talking about it. But this is their tire sealant. It's called tire glaze. It's an exterior plastic care. So they don't say this as a designated tire sealant or tire moisturizer. They don't even say the word tire on it other than tire glaze. They don't say it. They say it's a exterior plastic care, comma, glossy. Okay? So you're like, what the hell? Is this for the tire? Is this for the plastics? What are we doing? Plastar is saying basically the same thing on the front, but this one it says tire glaze. Like, okay, all right, no pHs, there's no shininess factors. Okay, all right, let's get into it. Areas of use: exterior plastic and rubber parts, tires, etc. So the rubber seals, right? Rubber seals, the walls of your tire. Exterior plastic. So this can be used like plastar, or yeah. And then let's see, in directions, use a sponge, so same as plastar. Apply evenly to clean, dry surfaces, rub in thoroughly, and leave dry to completely. Same as plastar. Do not use on surfaces where slipperiness is undesirable. Plastar. Pedal, steering wheel, tire treads. All right, so the treads of the tire, right? Just put this on the face, not on the treads where you drive. Don't do that. That's a no no. They said that is a no no. Okay, don't do that. You already know that though. And then VOC safe application 1 to 4. Did they just copy and paste this label and put it on both of them? Because that is the exact same thing as Plastar. This is why I'm talking about it. Okay. So can Coach Chemie kind of change up the wordage so it's kind of more designated to this actual product of tire glaze? Can you actually just like, again, as a consumer, explain to the can you make the consumer more understanding what the difference between tire glaze and plastar is, other than the generic exact same instructions as both of them? Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, what else do we got in this bad boy here? So we did FSE. Okay, so let's go in the interiors. So, oh, hi, hey, my name's Dan. I didn't see you there. Anyways, so interiors, I kind of like interiors. I don't hate them. Probably because I don't deal with interiors that I hate. Right? Like, there's some interiors you're just like, I shouldn't have done this. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just being nice. I'm doing, I'm doing this person a huge favor. I probably shouldn't have done that. And now you're thinking to yourself, what did I get myself into? But let's say you're doing an interior and you like it. In my top 3 all-time favorite Coach Chemie products is going to be POL, which is their interior cleaner called, or not POL, it's PO. It's called Polestar. POL Star. It's a textile, leather, and Alcantara cleaner. I missed the beginning. You order the full line. Pretty much, Chris. I have like, let's say I have like, I bought the blue line, the 10 bottles that's coming on Wednesday, and I have like, I think someone, maybe you or someone in the last live mentioned Leather Star. I realized I didn't have Leather Star, so I'm getting that. I'm getting like 4 other products that I didn't have. I think they're all around surface cleaner. I ordered that. Basically the stuff that I don't really use or think I ever needed, but now the fact that I'm going over the whole line, I'm just like, whatever. Let's just go buy it and try it, right? So stay tuned. That's coming in on Wednesday. Next Friday, I will unbox what I got from Coach Chemie USA from Wednesday on Friday, and maybe, most likely, we will deep dive more of this stuff because my car actually right now is pretty dirty. I kind of really want to wash this right now. This is way past rinseless. This is definitely a pre-wash. Probably pushing active foam to super foam. Um, but I'm thinking maybe I should just wait another week, get it really dirty, and see what we can do, right, guys? So, for the sake of science and the show, I'm going to keep this car dirty for another week, get it cooked. It's already cooked. I can show it. I'll show it. You know what? I'm just going to show it real quick. Screw it. We'll do it live. It's kind of cooked already, okay? So, we're trying to get it cooked. You can definitely see I don't even have to show you much, all right? It's definitely there. So, let's see what happens if I wait another week, because it's been raining probably the last 6 days straight, and today was like the first day it was actually nice and sunny. So it's been kind of everyone was out today. So focus, Dan, focus. We're going the interior. Yes, David, exactly. I use Polestar 1 to 10. Oh, in the home to clean pet messes and upholstery. Excellent. Yes. So I do as well. If there's something that I really need to douse, I will take my KCX bottle of Polestar, diluted 1 to 10. So that means that this 1 liter will last me 10 liters. That's like almost 3 gallons for, I don't know, $13 or $15. So one of the biggest perks is It's cheap because it's very dilutable. You really don't need. What do they recommend? They recommend 1 to 5 to 1 to 20. It's really good 1 to 10. It's very foamy. Foams like a champ. I personally will use it in a foamer, as AK mentioned last week. This little foam bottle, really nice. I dilute this 1 to 10 in a foamer, and it foams like crazy. If you're using, if you're Alcatara, right? If you have Alcatara, if you don't know what Alcatara is, it's basically um, a fancy word for saying microfiber. If you drive a Porsche or something really nice, and your car kind of has like this type of feel, like more than this, like a suede, kind of like a suede Alcatara feel, Polestar is probably going to be your best friend because, again, I'm not going to deep dive on this, but Alcantara doesn't like a lot of moisture. So being able to foam, use a foamer and some sort of light abrasion, Alcantara will look so clean in your expensive car that I wish I could afford one day. Exactly. I use the same thing, foamer bottle. David, we got some good taste, don't we? I think 90% of the time, the foamer is excellent, largely for the reasons I mentioned. Extremely efficient on product, very effective from reducing moisture. And a lot of times, if you're just doing mild cleaning or very delicate cleaning, very safe cleaning, which I love doing, like safe and delicate and efficient, Polestar will probably be your best friend. Right now, Polestar is my number one favorite interior and all around cleaner, next to a couple other things that I want to mention. But yeah, Polestar is probably one of the few products that I can comfortably spray on interior of the car and get a nice lather going and wipe away. And the surfactants of this are just excellent. They're just super nice. Alcantara is Italian for never looks clean. Yes. So Top Star, we're getting there. We're getting there, Mondo. I promise you. I promise you. So let's say your car was dirtier and Polestar is just not cutting it because this car has 4 dogs in every day. It's got 3 kids. The mom works 2 jobs. The dad doesn't clean. He doesn't know what he's doing. And he comes to you and he gives you this car and you're just like, what? What is this? This is making you question yourself. That's when you reach for something like this. This is MZR. Okay. This is going to substitute Green Star. Do not use Green Star if you have MZR. This is pretty much Green Star without the harsh degreasers that will overall dry out and hurt your interiors over time. This is what that's for. This is your sledgehammer for the interiors. I keep forgetting the cameras over here. Okay, so interior and special cleaner. Let's read this briefly. Okay, recommended dilutions. Depending on the dirt accumulation, 1 to 5 to 1 to 50. I don't have the most experience with this, but if they're saying 1 to 5 to 1 to 50, what would I say, guys? Do the least aggressive technique first, okay? Try it at 1 to 50, try it in a foamer, then I would say 1 to 30, try it in a foamer, and then maybe 1 to 20. I don't think, try it 1 to 5. If you have some sort of like farm truck and it hasn't been washed in 6 years and your uncle Randy doesn't care and you just want to go take the door and just see what you can do, try 1 to 5. Let me know. I would love to see it. I don't really have a car where I can try something like that, but this is basically your sledgehammer for the interior, MZR. I'm not going to try to pronounce this German words. Some people try. It's like Meiser Weg Zwinger. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, I don't speak German. Then, so we did the interior. We have the pretty much your 9.5 out of 10 times you're going to be reaching for Polestar, and that 1 out of 10 times when you're questioning why isn't it clean very well, you're going to be reaching MZR probably in 1 to 20. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Before you wash the car, you kind of, I don't use these, but I did buy them a while ago. Basically, you put these in front of the wheels, and you kind of help the hose from kind of getting kinked around your tires. KCX makes their own versions. They feel extremely thin. I've never used them, so I can't say if they're crap or not. They look like they should be functional, but personally, I have not used them, so I can't give you my full opinion. But that is what they are for. Okay, so if you like tire guards for your hoses, check them out. So we cleaned the interior. Now we clean the glass. Okay, so we come in with their Coach Chemie GC or glass cleaner. Right there we go. Now their glass cleaner doesn't have a pH on it. It says Glass Cleaner Pro. I've used this fairly extensively. Never seen the double rollers before. Yeah, and I've never used them before, so I'm not going to give you my opinion. But they roll pretty well. The thinness is fairly questionable for me. I don't know what I'm expecting. I just feel like this is going to break very well. Okay, so glass cleaner. I like this glass cleaner a lot. This used to be my number one glass cleaner for a while, actually. Let me see if I can straighten this. Is that better? No, look down. I've used this glass cleaner for a while. There's better ones out there. Personally, I've experimented mixing 50-50 of this with traceless, and that works pretty well. I've mixed 50-50 of this with luminous shine. That works pretty well. What I like about Kush Chemical Glass Guard, it has a fair amount of lubricity when you're wiping. So some glass cleaners kind of bunch up, kind of give you that real. Some people consider it clean. Some people don't like it because it kind of like sticks to the glass. This has a lubricity that still flashes, but kind of like when you're dried and it's dried, it it still gives you that nice glide on the glass, if that makes sense. And again, this used to be one of my favorite glass cleaners. It's not cheap. It's like I don't want to look this up, but it's like $90 for 4 or 5 liters. It's not cheap. And Luminous Shine was like $50, and I bought it last month. It was $30, so $35. So GC, enter. Nothing loads. I think I need to type in glass cleaner. The search bar on Coach Chemie USA is not good. Glass. There we go. Now it loads glass cleaner. Okay, so this bottle is $17 right now. Okay, I was able to buy a gallon of Shine for twice that, and then for their 5 liters, $85. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. You'll hear some other influencers and people in the space. This all they use. That's fine. I still think this is excellent. But when I'm starting to think of the cost, like compared to Shine or Traceless is also like $40 for 4 or 5 liters. It's not worth it, personally. I don't think it's worth the price. I think Traceless is even better and it's half the cost. So that's my opinion on glass cleaner. Though I do like it. I think Traceless, if I'm going to say Traceless is better, the biggest con for Traceless is the solvent smells are so strong. I don't recommend using Traceless inside if you don't have a well ventilated area or if you don't like solvent smells. It's very pungent. So Traceless is very strong. Okay. So we just did the interior. We are going to where was Mondo? Is it Mondo that was looking for this juicy stuff? We got Top Star here. Okay, so Top Star is their interior plastic trim sealant with in a semi matte. Okay, basically, like if you know DIY, they have an interior clean and protect. This is the protect. Yeah, Luminous is on my long list. Well, put him on your short list because Luminous has been pretty good. I've been the Luminous Aqua, Luminous Diamond, Blaze, Luminous Blaze. I think Blaze is going to be switching my alkaline wheel cleaner, but I do like alkaline wheel cleaner. But Blaze, I've tried it. If I get low on Blaze, I'm getting more of that. So focus, Dan, focus. So Top Star, okay? Top Star is their interior plastics and trim protectants. Okay, this is not for like, I don't think this is not for the leather because they have Leather Star. I don't think S stands for silicone. Okay, so what's the S for? Recommendation for you: spray onto soft sponge and apply evenly to the surfaces. So they say spray. So use a sprayer or drip it on a sponge. Shake well before using. Before using, check suitability. Same stuff. So they're essentially just don't spray this on the surface. Spray it on your applicator, which they recommend using a sponge, something kind of like this type of sponge, or there's many sponges, but kind of like an applicator sponge. All right, get a couple of drips. I drip it usually because it's a little bit, to me, it's a little bit more controlled. All right. I don't like spraying stuff unless I really have to. I prefer dripping, especially when it comes to like trim sealants and protectants. And basically, and yeah, like they said, basically wipe, or as I call it, de-level to level with a microfiber towel. I would recommend something, um, something that levels very well. I think a leveling towel, something like that, or maybe like a Kirk Franklin. So we went over the cleaners. We went over active rust. So we cleaned the glass. We trimmed the plastic. If you had leather on Wednesday, I will have Leather Star. Now, 90% of the cars out there, including myself, this is not real leather. This is a synthetic leather. Some people call it vegan leather. Some people call it synthetic leather or eco leather, whatever leather. That's one of the reasons why I didn't buy Leather Star, because for the most part, you can just use I don't know what I've been using. I've been using personally. I don't want to jump too much, but basically I've been using another leather conditioner. I don't want to show the brand, but basically I've been using another leather conditioner. So it'll be nice to try that one with Leather Star once I get it. And be sure to hit that like button if you're still here and you haven't yet. I appreciate it. Now let's go jump back to the. All right, so we basically sealed the car. We did the glass, we did the interior. Now, let's say we didn't want to seal it and we kind of prep it for coatings. You would come in with so let's just go back a steps. We would I don't want, let's just say we're in advanced class, right? So I don't want to spend my time explaining to you how to prep for a coating. Let's just say we just prepped for a coating. Now we're going to get ready to polish. There is a number of polishes that they have. And I have pretty much all their polishes. They have so H9 is their heaviest cut, H for heavy cut, I believe. And then I think it goes H9 and then sixes and then three and then one. I don't think there is eight and seven and five and four. So there's nine, sixes, threes, and one. So I don't have heavy cut because I don't use heavy cut. Again, Japanese paint. I don't have BMW or Mercedes hard clear coats, but I've been hearing some really good things about H9. I heard H9 is very effective, especially if you're trying to correct things. Um, I also don't have their foam. I don't have their wool cutting pads. But if you see here, I will briefly tease you real quick. I'm not going to try to go over it too much, but basically, we will deep dive this. Let me take the brain out. Look, now down. Yeah. So H9. Pretend there's a bottle that's red that says H9 right here. H9. So to keep it simple, their pads are color coordinated to their cutting. So red is their most aggressive. This is a 3-inch pad. I have a couple of 3-inch pads. I will open this and bring this to the camera when I have a second hand. Next step, or the second least aggressive, would be their one cut pad. So basically, that's paired with their orange one cut. Okay, one cut and finish. Finish means that there's some sort of filler there, which I think it's wax. I'm not 100%. We'll deep dive. We'll deep dive this later. But to keep it simple, H9, P for protective, P6. O2 is their second version. I believe their gloss is 8 and their cut is 6. H9 would have a cut of 9, and I think their gloss is actually lower than 6. Then we have F6, which is their fine cut. Okay, these are 6-inch pads, 3-inch pads, and they have 1-inch pads. Technically 1.7. This one box was like $40. Okay, so these pads are not cheap. It's like $900 in pads right here. It's not cheap. And again, when I have two hands, I'll go over it. So F6 is fine cut. This does not have this green line. Green line also means protection. Their cut is 7. So that one was, or their cut was 6. And this cut is also 6, right? For 6. And this gloss is a little bit, what does it say? 7. And this gloss is 8 because it's got that filler in it. So a little bit higher gloss. This is just straight cut. And then where are we here? Now that I have the camera in my hand. I have a couple bottles. So M3. Okay. And then, so those are the two sixes. And then we got two threes here. Oh, where are you going, sir? I want you right here. That's where I want you. Take the brain out. So we got the two M's. M is for micro cut. And we got micro cut and finish. Line again right there. That means there's protectant, just like this one. This has got the green line. That means there's protectants, okay? So micro cut, as you see here, it's going to have even less cut, right? So it's got a cut of 3.2, right? Like 3, micro 3, and then it's got a higher gloss of 9. Now this should say even higher gloss because it's got a protectant. So it's got the same cut, 3.2, but a gloss of 9.5. A lot of people have been saying this is pretty much a good one and done. Also, this is also like if you're basically jumping between a two-step and a one-step correction and you're kind of confused, like if you're not going, if you're doing H9, it's almost guaranteed you're going to have haze and you're going to have to finish it off with the M3. Okay, I would recommend if you're doing H9, you're probably going to have to finish it off with an M3 and maybe even come in with this one, which is right here. This is essentially just their polish. This is not a compound. Again, we are in an advanced class right now. So if you don't even know what I'm talking about, feel free to ask questions, but I'm assuming you're advanced. This is just a polish, okay? So it's going to have the highest gloss, right? So that was 9.5. This is also a 9.5, but the cut, there's pretty much no cut there, right? There's a 1, okay? The Schluvenschlein. The Schluvenschlein is 1 and the Glugenstein is 9. So that's pretty much polish, okay? Why I have a big bag or a big bottle is because my car, I just like enhancements, okay? If you're looking for enhancing, this is pretty much all you want. If you have soft Toyota paint or you're just doing a one touch up or maybe even a soft two-step, most likely you're going to come in with the M3 or maybe one step with the protected 3 or maybe one step with M3 and P1. Okay, that's pretty much what most people are going to do unless you're kind of knowing what you're doing, and then I would kind of do the sixes a little bit more. And then this is probably your ultimate one step, but pair it with the right pads, okay? Now, again, if I have two hands, I can open these up a little bit easier, but the pads are also softer and harder and stiffer. These are very stiff. If you take them out and feel them, these are quite stiff, like very stiff. They're almost like wool cutting. They're very good. And that is pretty much protection. And this is basically, so SO01, this is not the same as SO03. SO03 was the spray and rinse off sealant. This is basically their liquid wax, or like DIY's show winning wax, or Yum's Monton wax. This is Chemie's liquid wax. They call it finishing wax. And let me put the camera back and we will chat about that a second here. Put the camera's brain back in and put him back in the stand. How's everybody doing still? We still got a whole bunch of people in here. It's been like over 2 hours so far. We're pretty much done here. We still have like Ulex and tea and a couple other things. But so we done polishing. So the cut. So the cut on P1 is 1 with a gloss of 9.5. P3, cut of 3.2 with a gloss of 9.5. So same gloss as the 2. But that this one, straight finishing wax, very liquidy. Let's pour it. Let's just pour it. But my main point is the gloss is 9.2, so it's not as high, but the cut is 0. It's not 1. So there's 0 cut. So I'm sorry. This is actually the green one is still a polish. This one, I'm sorry. I was right. These are compounds. This is a polish, and this is straight up just wax, or they're liquid wax. They have a paste wax, as Franco reminded me I can't afford the $150 paste wax. This is dripping on me because I forgot it's in a dropper. So this is what their wax looks like. That's their wax, and it smells like a straight solvent. Okay, this smells like I shouldn't be smelling it. I'll just say that. It smells like I shouldn't be smelling it. It smells like their tire glaze. And for science, I'm not even going to pour it back. I'm just going to just throw it in the trash. I'll put that there to throw away later. Or maybe no, I'm not going to wax. I'll just throw it away. And I'm going to wipe this because I'm just a clean freak and I just like things not spilling all over me. All right. So that's their basics of cutting and compounds and liquid wax. We have pretty much two things left here that I see. Oh, and did I go over panel prep? I'm not sure if I went over panel prep. Before we polish, or I'm sorry, after we polish, okay, once we do a one step, two step, three step, whatever corrections we're doing, we wipe away with panel prep. Also, not the cheapest panel prep, but I use this all over the place. I don't polish very much, but I'm using this I mean, I use this a lot in the shower for the glass. I have a lot of glass there. No, you skipped that panel prep because this is advanced class. Yeah, you know what panel prep is? We're in advanced class. Their panel prep, no particularly good smell. It's very similar to the glass cleaner. It's a little different, but I haven't tried Yum's glass, and I haven't tried Deto's Co's Oblivion. I've smelled the glass, Yum's glass. It smells like grapes. Detoco Oblivion, I have a gallon down there. I haven't tried it. I might have 2 gallons. I have to double check, but haven't tried it. This is not noticeably good smell. It's pleasant. It's pleasant and it cuts. It works pretty well. Very efficient. And then last but not least, let's say you got a little bit of tar on your car, you got a little bit of tree sap, you got a little bit of like something that all those awesome products that we just tried, it's just not cleaning. There is three. This is two in my hand because I only have two hands, but there's actually three products. Just imagine I have a third. Every time I go higher, it just goes higher. Let's just say I have a third product here, and that's called Orange Power. So um, I have to double check. I think so. These three, okay, all three of these are basically adhesive removers, and T is more designated for tar and butamin, which I forget what that is. I think that means tar. And then they say this one is an adhesive and stain remover. The biggest difference between T and Ulex is um, tea and orange power will give you a lot more dwell time, and Ulex will not give you very much dwell time. Do not let this dry on your paint. Do not put this on plastics. This is your sledgehammer for adhesive removing. Like let's say your uncle has a cool car and he just put Christmas lights all over his paint, and now he's taking off his Christmas lights in January 15th, and he just realized all these sticky stuff is just not coming off the paint. This is going to be your best friend because you have like 600 of those things all over your paint. Do this spot by spot. I would recommend putting a couple of drops on a low pile microfiber and kind of lightly agitating the adhesive. It should work very well. Back to potency. This solvent is extremely potent. This is your sledgehammer. Use this with extreme caution. Test a spot first to see the reaction. This is not intermediate or beginner solvent. This is probably one of the strongest adhesive remover solvents currently in the market. This is something that you should have in your arsenal if you have adhesives. If you're removing adhesive often. If you're not certain, or you don't have severe jobs, or you just have minor tar, a little bit of stuff like that, T, or they call it tirvush, is going to be your pretty much go-to. This is probably going to be used more often than Ulex. If I just forgot to mention, this smell of solvent is very pungent. If you pour a couple of drops on a paper towel or a microfiber, it will smell up your entire garage. This is something where you want to use in a well-ventilated area. Be cautious. Do not put this on plastics on the inside at all. This is for exterior paint only, and use it as directed. Follow the directions very carefully. And the directions are very little. They just say apply to the stains undiluted with a dry absorbent cloth and rub off. Okay, so just put it on a cloth, rub it, and rub it off. They don't tell you to rinse it off or anything. Okay, so this is a special product for the quick removal of adhesives, which I just mentioned, sticker residue. Right? Let's just say you went to the city and the city put a one of those stickers on your car because they just booted your car because you just don't pay your bills, and they put this huge ass orange sticker right here, and you see all the people who get their sticker, they remove the sticker, but they always have like that nice rectangle just reminding them for months that they don't pay their bills, and they just, yeah, that sticker, those adhesives, this within 2 minutes it's coming right off, not even. Okay, this is going to be your best friend, this, but also it could be your worst enemy if you don't use this as directed. This is not something to joke about. Probably going to be one of your most crucial tools in your toolbox if you know how to use this correctly. I would recommend getting familiar with this first before you start damaging things with this. But this stuff is amazing. I'm just going to tell you, this stuff is just, I don't want to use the word goated, but it's goated. And then as I mentioned, right? Blah blah blah. So adhesive sticker is a rubber, tree resin, spray mist. I don't know what spray mist. Yeah, it's not the, it's, yeah, like Don says, it's straight damage. But it could be good damage. It could be bad damage. If you're a professional, advanced level class cleaner, this can be very very helpful. Ink stains. Okay, so Ulex, right? Let's just stay with Ulex. So Ulex, this is their sledgehammer adhesive remover. Okay, let's just go over what it does again. Adhesives, rubber, tree resin, spray mist. Still don't know what spray mist is. I think they mean overspray. Ink stains. That's interesting. I've never used this for ink stains. Oil, yes. Greases, tar. And then it says evaporates quickly and without leaving residues and contains no halogenated hydrocarbons with Dalmer approval. Again, I don't know what Dalmer approval means. I need to do a little bit more research. And then it says solvent resistant surfaces such as paintwork, glass, ceramic, metal, etc. Okay. Do not use this inside. Don't use this on plastics. Okay, this will be very dangerous if you do this in plastics. And again, well ventilated area. This stuff has a very strong solvent. You thought traceless is bad. You haven't tried Ulex. And then again, T is like a hammer, but it's not a sledgehammer. If that makes sense to you, like, okay. I would recommend getting familiar with this if you're not with Ulex. So I'm gonna guess the directions are gonna be very similar. Solvent based, careful special cleaner for the effortless removal of tar and butamin. Most likely, you'll probably deal with tar, especially if you're like on a racetrack or it's really hot and you just have like maybe some summer tires. Summer tires kind of are a lot more, they move more, right? They kind of want to grip the road, so you might get a lot more tar as opposed to if you have like winter tires and like a little, the rubber composites better with the temperature of winter, if that makes sense. Again, we're doing advanced stuff right now. We're not doing the basics. Suitable for all solvent resistant surfaces of cars, commercial vehicles, car wash brushes. Interesting. Commercial vehicles, car wash brushes, workshop floors, machinery, free from halogenated hydrocarbons. So they're basically saying, um, again, not to draw confusion, but sometimes when I'm opening up a lot of packages with my knife, I get a lot of like adhesive tape on my knife. Both of these are just excellent at removing all that stickiness on my blade. These things just pour a little bit on a paper towel and just wipe it on your blade, and both of them just come off very easily. So if you have like really bad like switchblades and they just sticky with adhesives, try those too. And looking like I'm kind of running out of stuff, guys. Oh, here we go. I see some stuff here. I see some things. So Top Star, we went over Top Star. I have it already in a spray bottle. I have it in a spray bottle. Not going to confuse you. But what I did forget, two items here. So there's always a person in the internet saying, "Well, why don't you just make this out of glycerin?" I don't know. Why don't you? Why don't you? Why don't you make it out of glycerin? I pour this. It's RTU. This is called Gummy Fix, GUF. I just need a break. I've been talking for over 2 hours. Just give me a second to breathe. Gummy Fix. I mentioned Motorplast. I mentioned Polestar. Those two products are definitely Motorplast, and I think maybe FSE. I think that's what it was. FSE, Motorplast, both of those products to me are in categories of their own. There's not many very good acidic rinseless or quick detailers like FSE, and there's not many good engine bay finishers like Motorplast. Come in with a third item, Gummy Fix. This is basically designated for rubber restoration that basically the floor mats. I know most of you probably are familiar with this, but if you're not, GUF is designed to, once you clean your floor mats with a number of ways, I'm not getting into that. Once those floor mats are clean and they're dry, you can spray some GUF on your floor mats, wipe it, and it gives you a really nice satin sheen that's not greasy, okay? You don't want your feet to slip on floor mats or any sort of rubbery textile that you need grip. So the biggest thing about this thing is it's giving you that brand new OEM finish on your textured rubbers that don't give a slipping effect. So that's excellent. Let me know in the comments if you have any products that are similar to GUF. As I mentioned, Motorplast and FSE are kind of in their own category, and I think GUF is also in their own category for floor mat restoration, protectant, OEM sealant. That's why so many people are trying to make it because there's not many competitors. It's not cheap, it's fairly expensive. And if it is just alcohol and glycerin, then why are we paying $40 for just alcohol and glycerin? Now, that's not, this is not, this isn't the channel that I'm trying to like test the boundaries in the sense of like being a chemist and making my own product. I don't have it. I'm not trying to do that. What I try to do is take a bottle of product and do it as they direct and maybe see if that can make a different, more efficient method. Maybe if they say spray, maybe I try foaming it, right? That's just, I'm just giving an example. I'm not exactly going to foam this. I'm just saying my method is I don't just try to make products, okay? There's other channels that will say, hey, make glycerin, go follow them and let me know if it works. If it works, send me a bottle, I'll try it, but I'm not going to make it. All right, so that's Gummy Fix. And then the last, if not very least, we just clean the car. We spray the interiors. Hi, camera, I'm over here. Hi, camera. My camera's getting tired, I can tell. I haven't tried natural finish. What is natural finish? Is that PNS? I've been using 301 for floor mats. I should try Guff. And I should try 301. David, if you want to, oh, hi, David. David, if you want to chat later, I'm on Discord. I'm on Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find. Can you? I think my camera's getting tired. He just doesn't want to follow me. If I go like this, yes, all right. Yeah, so anyways, what I'm trying to say is send me a bottle, I'll send you a bottle. Let's try stuff out. I don't want to buy more things if I don't have to. And I would love to like, and also anybody else listening, if you want to trade samples of things, let's get in touch, man. Because I would love to try stuff without dropping like $40 for a bottle of things. Oh, sorry. So last but not least, FU, Fresh Up. This is in their fragrance magenta line, right? Is this magenta? Is that fuchsia? Let's just say it's fuchsia, right? Fuchsia, FU. In a different world, or maybe in the future, Coach Chemie will come out with different fragrances. Right now, this is their only current fragrance. The fragrance to me is very pleasant. I like it a lot. It has a fresh linen smell. Very nice. It has like a softener, like a laundry softener smell. To me, it smells like downy laundry fabric softener. I like this stuff a lot. If I'm not reaching for other things, such as other like odor sides and stuff, I like deodorizers. We should make a whole episode just on deodorizers, but let's just focus. For Coach Chemie, they're one and only deodorizing. So it's an odor eliminator. So it smells good. It's supposed to, I think, like eliminate the odors. I don't know how exactly. It's a sprayable special product for eliminating unpleasant smells in vehicles, caravans, boats, sanitary, residential, and commercial uses. The odor molecules of tobacco smoke, animal smells, decomposition processes, etc., are encapsulated and thus made ineffective. Fresh Up deodorizes the treated rooms, textiles, and areas with a fresh fragrance. For odor control of extreme problem vehicles, we recommend, in addition to use of our KC refresher. I don't believe we have KC refresher. Does anyone know if we do? I've had to edit part of my video because of the coffee. Which one? I'll read the chat back there in a second. So areas of use: textiles, upholstery, roof liners. Interesting. I'd never done roof liners. I don't tend to spray things on roof liners like ever. So, but that's interesting that they did that. Roof liners. And then air freshener. They just say air freshener. What I do is I will spray this like just one or two sprays under either my seat or under the back seat under like I have WeatherTech mats, so maybe I'll just lift the WeatherTech mat, one or two spritz. You do not go crazy. This stuff is strong. Does it eliminate the odor? I think there's a lot better ones out there. I think this is pretty good for like a day or two. Um, it doesn't hold very well, but I think I still reach for this most of the time. I think I'm kind of moving towards Yum's deodorizer, that very like nice crisp lemon smell. And the Yum deodorizer, I cut it 1 to 1, and it's still very strong. With the Yum deodorizer, it's even stronger. And also sometimes Yum, I don't like that smell all the time. Sometimes if I'm cleaning up like puke or throw up, I don't like Yum's deodorizer. It doesn't mix well with puke. But this one is very good with like stinky smells that you don't like. This is actually does really good with that. So like if you have babies or dogs, stuff that like throws up or does things like that, I like this over Yum. The orange, the citrus just clashes. I don't like that too well. And I think, guys, that is pretty much all she wrote on just a brief overview of these products. As we mentioned, we're over what 2 hours right now. We're at like, gosh, do I even want to know where we're at? We're at 150 minutes right now. Okay. So, and that was just basically explaining a brief overview of the line that I have. I still haven't. So to basically here, let me catch up with the chat. I love the name. Customer asked, "What is that smell?" Oh, F you. It's like he's like, no, F you. What I ordered. Let me just go over what I ordered real quick. It should arrive on Wednesday. Doesn't mean it will, but it should. Let's go to my Shopify account. I talked to Coach Chemie this morning because they sent me an invoice and it confused the hell out of me. Basically, it showed me that one major item wasn't coming, but they assured me it is. So I bought the blue bottle bundle. Okay, the blue bottle bundle will have 10 bottles. They have a multi-interior cleaner. So I want to compare multi-interior cleaner to like Polestar or MZR. I'm guessing it's probably like a art. I'm gonna guess. This is my guess. My guess that the bottle of multi-interior cleaner is an RTU 1 to 10 Polestar. That's my guess. And then they have an insect and dirt remover. So bug remover. I don't believe. Do we have a bug remover other than I have to double check, but I don't know what Coach Chemie's bug remover is. Do they have a bug remover? Let me know in the comments, guys. Then they have Speed Glass Cleaner, SGC. Is that going to be different than their glass cleaner? Okay, because that looks like it's going to be a decent sized bottle. Maybe that might be a 750 milliliter bottle. This was almost $20. This whole bundle of 10 was like $90. So I think this bundle is actually going to be pretty good for the cost. We'll kind of go over that too. So that's three. The fourth is reactive wheel cleaner. Okay. An iron remover wheel cleaner. What's the difference between reactive wheel cleaner and alkaline wheel cleaner and reactive rust remover? Is there a difference? Is it RRR and AWC made a baby and they put in two bottles? Because both of those bottles are fairly expensive. That'll be interesting because that's also looks like a That also possibly could be a 750 milliliter bottle, which again, pretty good. Then the best one, this is why I bought it. This bottle, Nano Magic shampoo. So the shampoo that they give you is Nano Magic shampoo. If you go online, Coach Chemie's website, or on like the Rag Company, um, first off, let's just go to the Rag Company. Okay, so shop, type the Rag Company. If you type in Nano Magic shampoo, it's sold out. I think COMPANY. I think it's sold out, and one bottle is $40. Okay, so this bottle, I believe, is a 750 milliliter of Nano Magic shampoo. So basically, a really good price. I'm basically probably getting this for a third of the price that it should be. So I think that was the play. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, because if I listened to Justin, I think is the head of marketing over in Coach Chemie USA in Georgia. I believe Justin said that the Nano Magic shampoo in this blue bottle bundle is the same as the Pro line, but for $40 or pretty much the same size bottle for $10. So that to me, I think I just did a play. We'll see when it gets here on Wednesday. Then the last five bottles are, it looks like they're 300 mils or 500 mils, and that's Protect Leather Care. Protect Leather Care. Is that going to be the same as Leather Star? Now I'm getting a bottle of Leather Star, so we will compare Leather Star to Protect Leather Care. Then the fourth to last is Shine Speed Polish. Shine Speed Polish. Did they just give me a polish in here? This is pretty good. Then there's Nano Magic Plast Care. What is Nano Magic Plast Care? That sounds like Plastar. We will see what that is. And then the last two bottles, we have Refresh Cockpit Care. What's the difference? Oh, so it looks like, so the bottles are I'll show you this one on Wednesday. We'll deep dive this on Wednesday. But they have refreshed cock, and they also have, where was it? No, so that's, oh, and they have multi interior cleaner, right? So it looks like the multi interior cleaner is the seats and the dash, and then it looks like the refresh cockpit care is that their protectant, because it looks like it's just the dash. And if that's the care, and then so again, very confusing. We'll go over this next week on Friday. And then the last but not least, they have an all around quick detailer, a all around quick detailer. So it looks like we got a shampoo. We have some sort of wheel cleaner. We have quick detail. We have a interior cleaner. We got a leather protectant. We got a dash protectant. Okay, we got a polish. We got a glass cleaner, and we got a bug remover. All of this for $90. Okay, and the bottles look pretty decently sized. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus, what else did I buy? So that's one thing. And then I bought a multi-star sticker because I don't know why I bought that. I think I'm gonna buy. I think I'm gonna like designate a spray bottle and put multi-star in it, and then I will use that as a sprayer. Then I bought Leather Star, as I mentioned, all-around surface cleaner, which is basically their APC. I personally think their Green Star is my APC. So we will compare Green Star in a number of dilutions versus their, to me, right now, I haven't tried it, but to me, overpriced APC in a 15 mil bottle for $17. To me, that's ridiculous. That's why I've never bought it. But here, when in Rome, for you guys, I put an order in for $17. Let's see how it is. And then I bought a bottle of Quick and Shine. Okay. So I didn't buy Quick Finish. We just talked about the difference between Quick and Shine and Quick Finish. So Quick and Shine will have the silicone. As mentioned, they didn't mention silicone. I only know that because of the level of autism that I go into Coach Chemie, and I've watched so many videos that I made a mental note that that's the difference. Would be nice for you to at least put in here that the difference between quick finish and maybe even the directions like on the website, because that's a very common QS and QF. And then I just bought a Protector Wax cherry scented air freshener, which reminds me of Don. Don, are you still in here? I know it's like the East Coast. It might be a little late for you, but not to mention Don. Don sent me a nice T-shirt But I also was able to. He sent me a nice air freshener, and I haven't even opened it up yet. Should we check it out? See what it smells like? Ooh, like a cologne. Ooh, I like that. Okay, this smells good. This has I don't know what that smell is. It reminds me of like a cologne that I used to wear like 20 years ago when I was like younger. Has like a kind of like a nightclub feel. I'm gonna put that right away in my mirror right now, just so I'm gonna let that saturate for like 8 to 10 hours, and then tomorrow I'll give you an interpretation of how it kind of like breathes, if that makes sense. All right. So now I'm gonna give a couple minutes here for you guys to give me questions. Let me read up the chat a little bit. Don is Don still in here? Because I see him chatting away here. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see. Mondo waving hand, and then God, Christy, are you still in here too? Adam's rubber protectant. Can we revisit the polishing section at the end? Yeah, Chris. Chris? If you're still in here, let me know what you're looking at. If not, I will try to maybe re-listen to this, and then if you have any specific questions, I can bust out the more specific stuff. Right now, I was just, again, you saw it was over 2 hours, and I went over like 60 products. Hopefully next Friday we can start testing some of these products and comparing the products and giving my interpretation of the usage. As I mentioned, I've used like 80% of these, and there's still some of them I have not, and some on the way. So, Chris, if you're still listening, feel free to ask away. Brant, Guff is great. GT Dash Serum works great on floor mats too. I will be taking notes on all of this right now. Thank you for all your suggestions. Mondo says Fresh Up is amazing. I agree. Brant says, I like the color of that label. Yeah, the fuchsia is popping. Don said, do you cut Dash Serum or straight? Brant says straight, but it's got a strong cologne smell. Might make you cough. Interesting. This is a polish you're talking about? Most polishes I know don't have much of a fragrance. I have it and makes me cough every time. Interesting. I don't know if I want to try something that makes me cough. Biobomb tablets are good too. Yes, Mondo. I have some Biobombs now, thanks to Jamie at the House Rag. I need to try way more Biobomb stuff. I haven't used that. I had to edit part of my videos on it because there. Now I know what you're saying. Chris, never heard of it. If I went to, I love the name. Customer asked what is FU. Good completion video. Thanks, Don. I appreciate it. Chris, I have a question looking for opinion. Chris, I'm all ears here. I think I'm catching up. Serrano in the house. Oh, yeah. 512. Now that we have just finished washing the car, I see the lawn people have just arrived. Exactly. Serrano. Mr. Dan. Mr. Dan, this guy, he's no good. He's no good, Mr. Dan. Mondo, FU is definitely better. Cover the smell when people purge in your car. Yeah, I agree, Mondo. I think for certain fragrant or certain pungent smells, that clean linen laundry smell really works. Really works. If you have kind of like cigarette smell, weed smell, specifically like weed and kind of like skunky smells, maybe the car is dirty from just like dirt, the Yum Detail. I also have like zero odor illuminators that you might not recognize, but since we're like towards the end of the video, I'll kind of like tease some stuff. But basically, I really like odor side. Odor side is dilutable. I believe this is for serious odors, 8 ounces per gallon. For mild odors, it's 2 to 4 ounces per gallon. Then for topical and general ongoing deodorization, it's a half an ounce per gallon. So basically, this is 256 to 1. Really strong stuff. This goes a long way. Anyone wants to check that out? It's called Odor Side. And then if you're a dog person, you have specific dog odors. This is not as dilutable. I think it's like 1 to 20. Let's check. Dilute half an ounce of concentrate for 16 ounces of water. So a half an ounce for 16 ounce. Yeah. So a half an ounce for 16 ounce, 256 to 1 for pretty much normal stuff. Again, if you're going to compare Fresh Up, which is, can someone double check me the price? Let's just say it's over $20, under $40. That's 1 liter between $20 to $40. This was like, I don't know, $20 to $30, and I can make, this is 16 ounces. I can make 32 gallons. 32 gallons. Okay. So cost is A lot of this stuff is not comparable. There's a lot of stuff out there that is a lot more effective and a lot more affordable. I'm just saying. Dan needs a GoFundMe for the missing items. Yeah, absolutely. Serrano, you still in this house? Sheesh. Interiors for life. Yeah, dude, Serrano, I'm a big fan of interiors. I think I'm just a fan of cleaning and the process of cleaning. As I mentioned an hour and a half ago, I don't work on interiors that make me question my life. I try to stay away from stuff like that. I like to show people that when they clean something that you're not even there yet. There's a level of clean that they might not even be aware of. That's the kind of clean that I like. I like to go in on stuff that's clean and show you now this is really clean. That makes sense. If that makes sense to you, then you'll probably like my channel a lot. Blah blah blah. Mondo, TRC has on sale from time to time for 75. What is on sale? What are we talking about here? I don't see. Maybe FU? Is that what you're talking about? Chris M, long time car washer, short time polisher here. I'm looking to do a light correction slash paint enhancement on my black Silverado. Oh, fun. That's like the worst paint. Would you go F6 or M3 to do a one step? You know, Brant is in here right now because I'd say Brant is my expert for black paint. Listen to what he has. Brant is 512 detail. Chris M. I'm sure you know who he is. I'm not going to give you advice because I've never worked on black Silverado paint. So not the best, but Brant is in the house and he's my expert. Mondo, my Clin order shows up on Wednesday too. Oh snap! I haven't ordered it yet. So the only thing I'm not spending $400 in towels right now is because I need motivation to get me to a. Let's say when I get 1,000 followers, when I reach 1K, I'm going to buy the line of Clin and do a view on Clin because I'm not going crazy right now. Let's see. Dash Serum is GT's interior product with protection light shine. Okay. Making notes, making notes. I use that for fire jobs, Mondo says. And again, F6 and M3, there's two, right? There's F6 that's just fine and cut, and then there's P6, right, with the finish. And then you were saying what, M3? I'm losing the chat here. I think you were saying M3. Yeah, there's M3 with just no finish and then P3 with finish. So yeah, you were right about the F6 or M3. I would again, I'm not an expert, so don't listen to me very seriously, but if it's very finicky paint, do the least aggressive use the least aggressive method first and see where you're at. First of all, paint gauge, okay? Always use a paint gauge. Always be comfortable and know where your paint thickness is at all times. Okay. If this is not your car, you don't know what's been done to this car. So if you're not sure, get a paint gauge. I use that for fire jobs. FU as 25 retail for 1,000 milliliters detail. So let's say $30 for a 1 liter. Okay. That dog deodorizer was 1/2 ounce for 16 ounces. So and that was a 16-ounce bottle. And let's say that. Let me just give you the exact price for that, just because I'm here. I'm more relaxed with the stuff. Go to my orders, click in deodorizer, ORDER, see what pops up. So that didn't pop up. Let me just look up the names real quick, just because we're kind of playing around now. So one's called Odor Side, and the other one's called Dog Odor Off. So Dog Odor Off. Let's just type in odor. No, that didn't work. Say dog odor off. Okay, here we go. They both popped up. Bought them both on November 19th. So the Thornell dog odor off is currently $22, right, for a 16-ounce concentrate. They also sell a 22-ounce RTU for $19. Okay. Right off the bat, no, don't buy an RTU for $19 when you could buy something 16, half an ounce for 16. So what is that? 1/16? No, it's 132. It's 32. RTU or 132 times stronger for $4 more. Okay, get the concentrate. Do the math. Okay, so right now it's $22.95. I personally bought it for. Let's see my order. I bought it for $22.95, same price. Okay, so the next one. So that was the dog one. And then this odor side is even better. This dog is half an ounce for 16 ounces, and the odor side is half an ounce for 256. So rinseless, basically a rinseless solution. That one is also 22.95, and I paid same price, 22.95. Okay, so 22.95. That will make me 32 gallons. Okay, 32 gallons. Okay, it's not even close. 1 liter for $25, 32 gallons for $25. Okay, is there a little difference? Yeah, that's why I'm making a note of it right now. All right, let's see here. Just got new kilo. Oh yeah, and the green monster. I really need to try the green monster. Definitely Brant. Brant, are you using the green monster and what are you using it for? The wheels? Are you using it for the wheels mainly? Wow, the whole lineup, Mondo. I need that clean apron. You know what I'm saying, right? Because I think I had pretty much the whole line, and then things sell out. Their interior towel sells out a lot, but it does come back in stock often. I think they have this red. Again, I'm a rinseless guy, so I don't really fight for the wash mitts, but they have like a red wash mitt like this, which I just got from the detailed popo. I want to try it out. Yes, Green Monster on the wheels. And for those overspray jobs I had, you have some great footage. Okay. Send that footage. I would love to see it. But I'm also Clint. Clint has like a red one of this. I'm excited to try this though too. What do you guys think about that detail popo? Has anyone heard about detail popo? I'm looking forward to trying that weapon of mass drying towel. It looked very similar, but it didn't feel as stiff. I'm off the socials. We can catch up later in another chat one of these days. You can always, Chris, you can always just send a message in one of my videos. I respond. I enjoy it. I like the attention. Right now, I'm pretty much like, we're done for tonight. I'm kind of just chatting and chilling and seeing what you guys are doing. And if you guys have any last minute questions, I hope next Friday we'll get that package on Wednesday and we'll open that. We'll go over that stuff, and then we'll probably deep dive some of these products that you guys are interested in. Chris, thanks for the intel, Mondo. Yes, that's always sold out. Are you talking about the red wash mitt, Mondo? Those Popo towels were nice. I love that knockoff WMD. Yeah, I like the mint color too. I like all these light mint colors. If you can see this here, I can't tell if you can see that my camera doesn't really like moving right now. But basically, this looks cool. It's kind of stiff, but it doesn't feel super soft. It kind of feels like cheap. It kind of feels like fake, right? If you have like, all right, again, we're just doing a little bit of bonus. I just want to look at this compared to a blade. Uh, 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 uh. Stay there, sir. All right. So we all know the detail blade. This is the blade light because the original blade is like $45 and the light is like 20. I'm cheap. I'm cheap, guys. And also, this fits really well for my wheels. Can you see how nice and plush and kind of soft that looks? This has more of like a cheaper feel. Does that make sense? Can you see that like it's not as plush? There's not as much like white fluff in the middle. That doesn't mean it's not going to work. We're definitely going to try this out. But my immediate reaction is it feels like it's missing that. It feels like it should have that like plushness, right? It feels like it should, and it doesn't. So to me, it comes off as cheap. That's all. It doesn't mean it is. For all, maybe it performs even better. Maybe this will be my new favorite one. I'm just giving my raw opinion on the interpretation of my feedback of how and it just doesn't feel very premium. That's all. And it doesn't look like I can take it off and wash. And this one, I'm able to pop it off, go put this in the washer, clean it very easily, and when I'm done, put it back in, clip it back in its thingies, and it's Okay, that's why. That's why I'm. One was $11, one's like $30. You kind of get what you pay for, but it'll be cool to test that out. I'm excited. Thanks, Rico. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I had issues with my original live. I hope I can just update a thumbnail because I really want to keep this, and I spent a lot of energy creating the thumbnail for the last one. Great live, Dan. I got absolutely no videos edited, but I did both golf. Ooh, where are you playing? I love golf. Where are you playing? Are those motion activated lights in the cabinet? Yes. Yeah. They sell them in like 2 packs, basically magnets, and I can set how bright I want them. This one actually is just, yeah. You can kind of, it's hard to see there, but basically they're motion activated. They're very easy to charge. USB C. I don't think I've charged them in like months. They just last a long time, and I just kind of just place it up there, nice and easy. I have two here. I guess I could just have one there. So let's say two of them are like $20. So like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. It's like $200 in lights. It basically costs more than the cabinets. These cabinets I got, they're like Chinese cabinets. They were like $120 each. Again, some people will spend like 3 grand on a cabinet. That's just ridiculous. I don't know. And the difference between those expensive ones is that they'll have like built-in lighting for like an extra $1,000. It's like, nah, nah, I'm not gonna do it that way. I don't do things like that, guys. I try to save money so I can spend absurd amount of money on products instead. Let's see. I want to try the Griots mod brushes. Who said that? Mondo. Mondo, I live 30 minutes away from headquarters. I think I'm not sure when I'm going to do this. My plan is to go to Grios, film it live, go around the store, pick up some mod brushes. Actually, I don't you know what? I really don't want to try the mod brushes because I think they're silly, but I understand the concept. You basically take the handle and you switch brush to brush depending on situation. Um, I don't like having to switch brushes. I'm personally don't mind having, 2 or 3 brushes for the wheels, and I know where those wheel brushes are in my wheel bucket. And then I'll have 2, 3 brushes for interior, which I don't even use that many brushes. It's usually like one brush and a scrub ninja and some towels. So I don't usually have, and personally, I just don't have an issue with, oh, is this the interior brush? Is this the wheel brush? I don't know who those people are. Okay. I'm pretty meticulous. I'm pretty organized. I pretty much have my shit together. But for you, Mondo, if you're during my stream and we're in the store and you say, oh, look at the mod brushes, I'm buying them. Okay. Just remember that. I'm going to buy those mod brushes if they're there. But again, what I want to do is I want to go to Griot's. The headquarters is 30 or 40 minutes away. It's down in Auburn. And I want to visit the store with you guys. I want to buy their pre-wash, which I think is called Surface Wash, or I think it's called Prep Wash. Again, the Griot's KCX. You're not the only brand that's confusing. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, sure, you are one of the more confusing because you have similar overlapping products, but Griot's is also not perfect either. Okay, that doesn't mean I don't love you guys. I have high criticism because I have high expectations for your brands, but just take my criticism productively, okay? I just want your brands to be the best they can be. That's all. Okay? So just take my advice as a positive, okay? But Grios, I want to try your designated pre-wash. I believe they have 2 pre-washes. They have a surface wash and they have prep wash. I think it's the prep wash I want to try. Plus, I want to try. They have a. I've been told they have some decent like foaming wash. Last time I was there, I wanted their basic rinseless, but they only had their ceramic rinseless, and they had like maybe it was it a graphene rinseless, and they have a rinseless wash and wax. I have the wash and wax. It's okay. The rinseless wash and wax smells really good. It's not very lubricious. It doesn't clean very well. It doesn't really reduce dirt very well. But again, we have it. We can go over that on a let's do a designated rinseless night. But I keep ranting. To keep it short and sweet, I want to go to I want to go to Griot's. I want to buy basically a full set to wash, and then maybe that later that night or maybe on the weekend we do a griots, kind of like a griots, and maybe not this extensive because I don't think their brand is really worth buying the whole line. Unless you want to send me your line, I'll be happy to try it. I'm going to just try to see what I can do to do a standard wash, pre-wash, contact, drying aid, tire cleaning, interior cleaner, glass cleaner. I don't think decon. I don't think any sealants. I don't think any trim sealants. I don't think so. Unless you guys really think that I should try something. But that's where my head is at. And I'm hopefully we'll do that this spring slash this summer. And then if you guys have any ideas on any chemicals from Griots other than the mod brushes, I have the foam cannon. I think their foam cannon is outstanding. Okay, Griots, your foam cannon is outstanding. Okay, I think it's outstanding. Let's see where are we at here. Mod brushes. I still use the standard brush. The flings crap all over me. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just have one here because it's closer. I have a couple somewhere. You're talking about these bad boys, right? Yes. If you use these things fling. Button push. Yeah, you following me? Yeah. The trick with these, they will fling. So what you do is you kind of go in and bring it out slowly. Okay. You'll get practice. It slings everywhere, especially if you're kind of bringing it out quickly. So you kind of go in and then you bring it out slowly. They're not perfect. Yes, there's better things out there. Oh, now that I'm talking about griots. This is from Griots. I haven't tried these yet. It's kind of like a spongy. It looks like kind of like a scrub daddy. It kind of looks like I don't know this texture, but I do want to try this on the wheels. All right, it's similar. It's very similar. It looks like it's kind of disposable. They sold it as like a 3-pack. I don't know, for $20 or something. I don't know. I don't look at prices very often. But basically, we should try these. Griots interior cleaner and detail are very good. Oh, I do have their water spot remover. I think I tried it once. I didn't like it that much. I don't think it worked. I think the water spots that I tried it on was pretty much etched. They were pretty much etched into the paint. So you know how all of us are when we have water spots. We kind of go down the line to see if we can get it removed before we have to like actually polish it. So I do have water spot remover, and I do love this stuff a lot. It's their best of show wash and wax, or their best of show wax. If you were with me last Monday, we kind of polished Yum and DIY with the random orbital Bosch sander. I use this a lot. This stuff smells so good. This is like a premium paste wax smell. Gives you a really good gloss. It wipes off excellent. Yes. If you want to try some Griots wax, this is recommended by Dan. Okay, Dan is me. I'm Dan. I love that stuff. I think that's excellent. I think when we do our Griots video, we'll definitely pop some of that wax out. I'm loving that stuff. All right, let's read some of the chat and let you guys be on your way. First off, I forgot to say this. Happy Friday night, guys. I hope you guys are having a good Friday night. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me on a Friday evening. Blah blah blah. Surface wash is the one to get. Now, Mondo, are you familiar with Griots? Can you explain to me? Because on the Griots website, surface wash seems to be their pre-wash, but then they say I think it's a prep wash. Prep wash. I think they say that's their like hardest hitting pre-wash. So I'm gonna guess like that's their multi-star. Also, Griots doesn't have any ceramic coatings. You heard that right. Zero ceramic coatings. They're stuck in the 60s and 70s. They're a very outdated brand. I constantly see them doing rinseless wash videos, and their techniques are very outdated. Again, this is my criticism, and my criticism might come off as harsh, might come off as brash, but that's just my personality. All criticism is positive feedback. Okay, your rinseless washing system is outdated. The fact that you have no ceramic coatings is not appealing to this younger generation, and your methods are just outdated. You gotta switch it up, guys. Let's see, where are we at here? If you had to pick a ceramic coating to use as a go-to in a detailing company, what would be your go-to? It seems like there are so many ceramic coatings popping up everywhere. Yes, absolutely. That's a funny question you're asking, Sean. Is if you're first time in here, thank you first of all, and that's also a good question. If you're familiar with me, I'm wouldn't say I'm famous, but I'm known right now as having an unpolished, uncoated car, largely because of it. It shows it lets me have the ability to test products such as sealants and waxes on a car that actually isn't coated. So while most people have the newest and greatest coating, it's very hard to get a true test of some of these sealants because you have this like a shield on your paint and I don't. So that's one of the reasons why. And also, I'm not really completely sold on coatings. I wash my car so often that I enjoy cleaning the car. I enjoy washing it. And even though it's not coated, as I mentioned in the last 2.5 hours, even with my car not coated, I half these products are too aggressive even for the level of cleaning that I have. So there's a number of reasons why I don't have a coating on my car. Mondo says Griot's interior and detail are good too. Noted, Mondo. Noted. Brant says the Griot's things looks like it would clean your toilet. The oh yes, and I probably do. They probably do a very good job. Now that you think about that, Brant, it has the exact same texture as those like little scrub things. The you just put it on, you scrub, and you just kind of like pull the thing, and it just goes into the trash. I think you're right about that, Brant. I think it's the exact same material. I think you're absolutely right, 512. Chris has very sensual brush maneuvers. I still haven't tried them yet. I definitely should try them. Naziol water spot remover is great. Um, I'm not very experienced with water spots. I have Pan's water spot remover, and I have Griot's, and then I have this other one by Opticoat. I think it's Opties. Opties. It's like a gel. I kind of like it because it's a gel, but it's wish it was a little stronger. Mondo, yes, pre-wash. Mondo? You gotta Mondo. You're awesome, but type a little bit more because if I talk for like 3 minutes, I kind of forget what you're talking about. So if you're just saying like, yeah, soft wash pre or something like that. Just kind of help me out because I'm all over the place. Dan's ride is all natural. Hell yeah, Brand's all natural over here. Send me that Katama coating. Mondo, where are you located? Because honestly, I expect to probably just use a little bit of it. Maybe I think Greg was mentioning the hood of the car. I think that's a good. I think I'll do half the hood so we can kind of see. And then I'm thinking maybe one of the lower rockers where it kind of gets hammered, so we can kind of see. So maybe like one of the doors or maybe like half the door. Because I think one side of the lower gets dirtier than I think the front gets dirtier than the back, or maybe the back gets dirtier than the front. Which, what do you guys think? But yeah, basically, Mondo. Okay, so reach out to me. Maybe I'll send it to you if you want to pay for shipping. I'll just use it for whatever, and maybe I'll ceramic coat my phone or something small, and then I'll give you the open bottle or whatever. If you want to pay for shipping, I'm totally down. Let's see here. Dan's car is all natural, like a lady from the '70s. Yes, definitely. There's armpit hair there. There's a big bush in the back seat. It's definitely feeling groovy for sure. Who is this new person? H Moob Muzazu. That's the weirdest name. Hard to pronounce. Thoughts on the Katsuba products? I see the line on top of your cabinet. Yeah, good eye, Mr. Friend. I wish I could pronounce your name a little bit easier. I'll just call you 23, okay? So 23, I have a video of I think it's called the wash clay seal. We applied the wet coat on one of my rental cars. Okay, let's just briefly go over this. So we got glass cleaner and repel. This is basically their glass cleaner, and they recommend it on very light cleaning. So basically, clean your glass already, and then come in with this. I think it's more aimed towards like a finisher sealant kind of thing, but it's not really. It's more of like a very mild glass cleaner slash protectant. Okay. Then we got the interior cleaner and coating. This I actually have not used yet. or maybe I've used it once or twice, and I don't have a strong enough opinion. I think I did a door panel of this. Also, I think this is for very mild cleaning, which is kind of perfect for me because, like Polestar, I don't really have very trash interior. So, all-in-one interior cleaner that can be used on all surfaces, including leather, vinyl, plastics, and infament screens. Leave behind a matte finish that will last 1+ month. Spray onto the surface or a microfiber towel. Clean the surface and buff excess away. Pretty much all they say there. Pretty simple. Um, from what I remember, don't quote me on this, but I don't think this was like banging. I think it was decent. I think it was decent. Smells really good. Smells really good. It has like an aftershave, kind of it reminds me of like a Gillette aftershave foam or some sort of like shaving cream. It smells like shaving cream. Does that make sense to you? Then now this can get confusing. There's gloss booster, there's signature wax, and I think there might be another one. I'm not sure if I have signature wax, but gloss booster to be the three systems is very confusing. Okay, I think I studied this like a bunch, and since I haven't thought about it in a while, I kind of forgot. So I'm going to read it. Gloss booster is one of the flagship products of the Katava line and the best seller in South Korea. Can be used as a maintenance product for Kataba ceramic coating, signature wax, wet wax, or ceramic spray coating, which is this one. You see that there? Up there. Move there. That one. Ceramic spray coating. And then, he's fighting me there, and he didn't like that. Where are you going, sir? All right. So ceramic spray coating, ceramic coating. Okay, ceramic coating. So basically they're saying alternately, it can be used as a standalone quick detailer, delivering exceptional gloss, which is pretty much what I would do. I pretty much use it as a QD. Okay. Hydrophobic properties and slickness to apply, simply spray on the panel and buff out. Okay, so spray and buff. What did you just say about Yum? You say Yum, I kept running. See, Dan, all brands are confusing. Yes, they are very confusing. Do you think Mondo, you think I'm gonna be a strong enough force in this world to help make these brands less confusing? Hey, there's my Yum bottle again. Brant, what are you talking about? Now, wet coat. Wet coat is probably one of my favorite ones right now. I have it already pre-made in a bottle. Gion, not Gion. I want to say Gion wet coat, even though I do have that right there as well. But anyways, Kataba's wet coat is very similar to Gion's wet coat. It's a spray and rinse off sealant. Okay. Now, the good thing about this, or the bad thing is, this small bottle is over $40. And you think to yourself, what? $40? Bro, what are you doing, bro? My bottle of Gion wet coat is like 20 something dollars. Like, what are we doing here? Okay. Mondo, which wet coat do you prefer? Well, that's a really good question, sir. Can someone tell me how much this Gion wet coat is? Can someone in the chat just tell me briefly? Let's say it's $25. Let's say it's under 30. Okay. It's a 500 milliliter, 16-ounce bottle of Gion wet coat. What you do is you spray your panel. Let's say this car will probably require, let's say 10 or 15 sprays. Okay, so it's $18 for this bottle, and it will, let's say you need about 20 sprays. Okay. And then you flush the car, rinse it off. You'll need the same amount, 20 sprays to spray off the car, but you're only using 1 to 100 or 1 to 1. All right, so it's on sale. Let's just say it's between $15 to $20 right now, and this is $40. So let's just say it's safely twice the price. This is comfortably twice the price as Gion wet coat. So it's 2x. Why do I like this more then? Well, as I just mentioned, you're diluting this 1 to 100 to 1 to 200. Do you get this now? That just made this bottle 200 of these bottles or 100 of these bottles. Okay. So now I just use 1/100th of this bottle. I used like 7 milliliters and I made a whole bottle. Okay. That means I can coat like 200. Um, so just a capful. I think you're saying an ounce. per liter. So 1 ounce per liter. So this is basically 16. This bottle is like 16 to 20 of these. Okay. So even though it's twice the price, it's 20 times stronger. So the price starts becoming really cheap. So this bottle, I've already coated the car twice, and I've only done half of seven, like, 15 mils. I think I did 15 mils. Quote me, but I did the video. I did a video. I think I poured 15 mils and I did 700, or this is 500. So yeah, I did 15 mils. So this is a half a liter. So 15 half an ounce to a half a liter, and I've already coated 2 cars, and I'm not even half done. Okay, so that's why I like this stuff a lot. Even though it's really expensive on the bottle, you can cut this 1 to 100 to 1 to 200. That's pretty good. Okay. And not to mention the beating is crazy. It's like ceramic coating crazy. This bottle made me start thinking, oh, now that's beating. That's beating. Okay. Like we've all see hydrophobics, but then when they just those videos where you see like a brand new ceramic coating and like Pan is like spraying his car and the beads are like they're like just like they just don't want to move. They're just like so hydrophobic. They're just like that's it. That's what I noticed. I noticed that. I was like, wow, okay. Now I'm getting that hydrophobics. And then last but not least, wheel coating. This was gifted in the mystery box by Jamie at the House of Rags. I have not even opened this up yet. I haven't even tried it yet. I don't coat my wheels. I don't think I need to coat my wheels, but let's try it now that I have it. I think this is probably a spray on rinse off, if I'm not mistaken. So forms a durable layer like a ceramic coating. Let's see here. After thorough cleaning the wheel, spray the product onto a towel and wipe the wheel surface. So basically, spray and wipe. Interesting. So it's not like a wet coat. Honestly, I would just get the wet coat, spray the wheels, and just flush it off. That's what I would do. I don't think I would even buy this if I didn't get it for free. I probably wouldn't even buy it. But because I have it, let's try it. And yeah, so this is the coating, Mondo. If I don't break it here, this is the coating. It comes with 2 suedes. It's in a glass bottle. Got a nice little package. I have a feeling this will be a whole episode. And then I got this one on sale last Black Friday. This was on sale. It comes in a beautiful, gorgeous box. And it opens up to in there. There's some towels and the spray bottle and all that fun stuff. And the box and the packaging is just excellent. Like, it's just so nice. Like Kataba is just killing it. Look at that. Look at this the gold. Yeah, they're just Kataba put so much work into their stuff. It's just outstanding. I think they did such a great. Again, this is obviously aimed towards consumers, not professionals. Unless maybe some of the professionals like that really flashy. But to me, as much as that artwork looks amazing, it doesn't scream professional to me. That's all. But the hydrophobics and the properties, like the fragrances and how hydrophobic they are, scream professional to me. They to me they give me really high end tier products. All right, where are we at now? So that's a good price. My wholesale price is $15, $25 Scamazon. Chris's head's exploding. Too bad you used it on the rental. Mondo, how is it bad? I have 10 years worth of it. I could send you some of it too, and I'll still have 5 years worth of it. I have so much stuff and not a this card, like I won't need another spray for like 2 more months. The thing lasts so long. It's crazy. I don't even have enough cars to use all the stuff I have. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. Brand, I doubt that's much of a coating for the price it is. Yes, Mondo, it's 50 mils. The wheel coating. That one, the wheel coating, I think is like 16 ounces. That looks like a 500 milliliter. The labels are awesome, definitely. Chris, I use pan sealant as a spray on rinse off for wheels. Works well, and I got like 3 bottles for free. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. Yeah, I think you won a big thing last time. I think. Rico, I have a 2.3 and I love it. Are you talking about the active? I wouldn't be able to use my CR spotless and the foaming with the 3.0's catch. I'm guessing you're talking about the active right now. I have the 2.0. They're still in the box. I haven't even used it yet. Is this thing still following me? No. I don't know what happens with this camera. Sometimes it likes me, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's getting tired. Yeah. You used to have the active here. I think that'll be another episode. I think we've already like mentioned like 10 episodes. I think we're already set for the year, guys. I have so much stuff to go over. But I think next Friday. So for what I'm thinking mentally, we get the package on Wednesday. I don't show it on Wednesday, but on Friday we go over that what we still haven't gone over, and then hopefully you guys have some ideas of what we want to test. And I'm thinking the pre washes, and then I'm thinking a shampoo or maybe a rinseless, and maybe the wheels. We'll probably wash a wheel with alkaline and magic wheel cleaner. Hopefully, if the world's nice on next Friday, the weather will be nice, and maybe I'll make a show a little bit earlier on Friday. I don't know what everyone's schedule is on Friday. Is this starting time pretty good? I know this is late now. I know it's like 9:15 for me right now, but should I start like an hour earlier? It's kind of hard for me to get much earlier because I have a wife and I have a kid, and I kind of need to get them situated before I can kind of like dick around with you guys for a couple hours. But as the summer gets later, it's literally 9 right now, right? If this was like July, it would still be light out. So I'm thinking we can kind of do some like tests on stuff that smell like butthole because I don't want to be doing it in here. Um, yeah, Mondo time. So basically, I bought the Ego because in my mind, before I got the house, I wanted to do a complete mobile setup and running on batteries. I don't want a generator. So Ego, I got the Ego vacuum cleaner, I got the Ego blower, and then I have an EcoFlow battery, and then I have the Chief steamer, and then I have a nine CFM 6 gallon, like a $900 air compressor that's like super small and super quiet. So basically, I really wanted everything in my Prius. But then now I have a kid, now I have a big ass house. And so I bought the Ego when it was on sale, or not the Eagle. I bought the Active for like, I think it was like, I forgot what it was, brands. It was like 300 or 320 or something like that. And I still haven't used it yet because the Ego has been decent, right? It's been holding me down. But I think once I go from 1.2 to 2.0, there's no going back, right, boys? But at the same time, I don't like wasting water. Like, yeah, you might rinse off a lot quicker, but then I have a lot more water here. And sometimes, as I mentioned, not having a ceramic coating, there's a lot of people out there that just have basic pressure washers. So, doing a test with a classic 1.2 on an uncoated car might yield different results than if someone's using dual Ryobis or dual actives with the hottest and latest, greatest 8-year ceramic layered coating, right? Me and that person are going to yield different results. And I'm personally thinking that my situation is more aimed towards the average person. That's all. But I do, like I said, I think once I go to that 2.0, I'm not going back, right? I hate when I push the trigger, it's like 3 seconds before I really get pressure. It's like super annoying. And the wind down isn't as bad as Ryobi, but it's not that good. So and I do notice some videos when people are using their Kreslas or the ARs, it's just like it sounds like at first it sounds intimidating and it's just instant, like I like that a lot. So I think as you see what I have here, guys, okay, it's not that I can't afford it or it's not that I prefer 1.2, but I just think that once I go to that 2.0, 2.3, 3.0, it's really hard going back. What do you guys think? My 2.0 has been going strong for 3 years of weekly use. That's awesome, Chris. That's what I want to hear. What pressure washer do you use? We just explained that. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yep. And again, this was like as a backup. So, like, one day this thing dies on me, I at least have a backup. Um, that's kind of like my thinking. And then also, since this has been working so fine, I haven't had a really reason to open that yet. So that's kind of like my thing. And plus, this would be a good time to like make an episode of that. I could literally just Make a whole episode of comparing that to the ego and seeing how that works and setting it up and stuff. That's a whole episode. Just got the and the 1.8 Ryobi. I was thinking about buying one at the store the other day for like 169. I'm like, man, this 1.8 is almost half the price as the active. I was literally about to buy that 1.8 like last week, and I was like, I don't know if I should do that. And then I used it once, and just that versus the ego I had was a noticeable. I got the 1.8 Ryobi, and I used it once, and just that versus the ego I had was a noticeable. Oh, I'm sure it's almost twice the output. I want to upgrade my Krenzla to AR 630 and the 635, but I do want DL2. What are you talking about DL? I think you mean DI. So you want to run DI and upgrade from your Krenzla to 630. I heard the 635 was having foaming issues. Is that right, or was that another one? Rico, I have 280 TDS. Mine's very similar. So I need a spotless. I don't know if you need a spotless. I think my TDS was like 281 something. I did a video on it. I could double check later. I don't want to do it now because we're pushing like I don't really want to. I think we're over 3 hours now. We're like 3.5 hours. So I don't want to check my TDS right now, but we'll check it later. Yeah, I definitely won't go back, Rico. That's kind of another reason why I'm kind of keeping it on the shelf until we do like a full test because I'm thinking we're gonna be swap. Oh, and that's another thing. I kind of wanted that like mounted on my wall. As you see, I don't really have a lot of room here, and the Ego is very mobile friendly. I think if I had some, again, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I'm probably not gonna be living here for more than a couple more months, and then I'm probably gonna be moving out to a smaller place. So when I move to a smaller place, most likely I will install like I have literally have a steel braided Velocis hose over there I've never even used, and it's already in a reel. It's not a Cox reel, it's a fixed fans reel, thanks to Kiev. But I have basically a $200 steel braided hose in a $130 reel, and I haven't even used it once because I want to put it on the wall, but I'm not staying here for very long, so I'm not putting it on the wall yet. But eventually I'm gonna have a much cleaner setup, hopefully. Blah blah blah. 280 would be nice. I'm 500. Oh God, Chris, 500 TDS. Now that person needs DI, or at least just be very careful with drying water. Right? You still could have 600 TDI, and like Ivan Lacroix has very bad TDS, TDS, total dissolved solids, and he has no issues because he doesn't let things dry. Okay, be mindful of things. Or if you who said that? Chris M. You have 500 TDS. If you have 500 TDS and you haven't tried FSE, right, finish spray exterior, that might be your all-time new favorite quick detailer if you have not used that yet. Highly recommend using that. Let's see. The Ryobi was just on sale for 150. The which one? The 1.8? Because I think I saw somebody posting that, and all the local stores, if they had that on sale, it was already sold out, and if they didn't, it was like 169. Now, $20 more, not big difference, but um, they had a whole bunch of them for 169 at the store I was at. Yeah, 635 doesn't foam that good. So why get it? Why would you get something that doesn't foam good? Curious, Mondo. Dan's going from 6 car to 4. Yeah, more like probably one or two. I'm thinking 2 car garage, and I really need to sell some stuff. My house is like 7 bedrooms and two. So basically, to keep it short, I have like 3 sections in the house. There's a downstairs with a pool and fitness center with its own 2 bedrooms and living room. We basically had that as an Airbnb, and then I have upstairs above this garage is another 2 bedroom living room, full everything. And we were going to rent that out, and I ended up not getting it rented. So we're just gonna, and I have it furnished too. I furnished both of them, so I'm gonna have to sell both those furnished units. They're basically both 2 bedroom living and with a living room and everything. And then we have my own section of the house, which is another 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, furnished, all their stuff. So I have a lot of house I got to deal with, a lot of stuff. I have an on the go DI system. That's awesome, Chris. I would love to, if let's say I have unlimited money, I wanted to create a crazy like pressure washing cart with like Kiev always has these cool reels with the Pressure washer probably active on the bottom with a reel, the fixed fans because it fit under his cart, and then maybe a DI system, and then a shelf for your bottles. That would be super cool. Just keep the FSE stocked up, definitely, Chris. Oh, you have an on-the-go DI system. Oh, right, right, right. Okay, very cool, very cool. Probably smart if you have three. Would you say 500? Yeah, Jesus. 3 gallons per minute, Mondo. That's a beast, right? So, well, yeah. So you 635 is 3 gallons per minute, but you're not foaming. So what do you? So what are you doing to compensate your foam? Are you just dumping in like 5 ounces instead of 2 ounces of product? Is that what you do to compensate? Because to me, that's not very smart. You're already spending $800 on a pressure washer, and now you're spending twice as much money on soap. Doesn't seem very smart for me. Okay, so yeah, I mean, again, if you're balling out, go ham. But I don't feel comfortable dropping 5 ounces of something that I just spent. Some of those shampoos were like 30, $40, right? For 30 ounces. I don't want to spend 5, 10, 15, 20, 1 6, right? That's like $6 a wash. That's to me is that's just not that's just no. That just doesn't sound right to me. I don't know. That's just yeah. Yeah, I bet, Mondo. No more GSF, especially for that cost. There's so many more. I'm not saying the GSF is bad. I'm not saying that it doesn't perform like it should. I'm just saying for the cost per ounce, it's not on my radar anymore. When you're around the track enough, you start not wanting to spend $100 on a 5 liter of soap when you can get some pretty good performance for like less than half of that. But they do really good marketing for GSF and GSX. They really make you feel like the GFX is like unobtainable or it's about to sell out. And I think not this Christmas, right? 3 months ago, but I think the previous Christmas it came out and it sold out or something. And then they brought it back. And then for the whole year, right? Last year, for the whole year, it was basically in stock. So when Christmas came around, right, 3 months ago, it was already here. So it didn't really have that like I don't know, bite. It didn't really have like the demand that like, oh my God, it's back. Let me go get some. It was like it was already here the whole year. And it's still there. So yeah. Yeah, Rogue is good, man. Rogue is good. All right, guys. I'm gonna give you the last 3 minutes here. Last final questions. Shout out to the diehards that are still listening. Um, I will keep this open so you guys can watch it later. Uh, Again, I'm a big fan of KCX. I'm not sponsored by them. All this was out of my own money. I'm just learning, just like you guys. A lot of the stuff has similar products. A lot of the wordage is a little confusing. We hope that all of us, car enthusiasts, car professionals, car technicians can be better educated so we can use their products a little bit more properly or more efficiently or effectively or not use products where we shouldn't be using them. Okay, Chris, TRC had GFX on sale, so not the rare. Yeah, it's not rare at all anymore. It's not even a little rare. Brant, yeah, I got GFX in the middle of the summer, no problem last year. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying. It was again, you know what they could have done or they should have done is they basically should just do the limited time. So maybe like November to mid December is the only time you can buy it, and then for the rest of the year they might have it in stock, but they shouldn't sell it. Okay, if they can just let you have a very small window to buy it, you would probably sell it. You'd probably sell that product a lot more than if you just had it on the shelves all year round. That's just my 2 cents. Yum soap better than Rogue? That's a good question, Mondo. We should try it out. I've only tried foam and I tried wash. I poured wash in the X foamer with citrus. I did a compare video. We did Incredible Suds 15-1 with a smidge of Incredible Suds. Right, I said Incredible Suds. All clean 15-1 with a smidge of Incredible Suds versus Yum citrus, right? It's like they're all clean. Yum citrus with a smidge of wash. Okay, so the only time I've tried wash was just that experiment. I've heard it's really slick, it smells good, But I can't give you my full opinion. I would like to do a since I think Rogue beat Incredible Suds. I think we should bring Rogue versus Wash now to see which one does better. What do you guys think? I think we have like 10 things to try, so that'll be up there. That'll be like midsummer or something. I wonder is stores over order. It could possibly be, it did so well the previous winter that I think a lot of places did like overbuy, thinking that it was never going to be around. And I think it could be a number of factors. I doubt it's just one reason why it's not as hot as it should be. I think personally, it could be over ordering. I think personally, having the window to buy it so openly loses that specialness of exclusivity, that specialness of being limited or rare, right? People still want iconic rinseless wash, right? I have a couple of bottles still. I bought it because I knew it was limited. Um, I also bought it because it was so freaking expensive that I was like, oh god, this better be really good because this bottle is so freaking expensive that it better be worth it. So I bought it too. So you got me to buy your bottle of iconic just because it was so bloody expensive and because it was limited. And I'm not saying to make Gentle Snow Foam X more expensive, but at least give the factor of limited, like truly limited. And maybe every year make a different scent. Maybe since last year was scented apples, maybe next year is peppermint, right? Or then winter stuff. So maybe potpourri or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some spices, some different spices. Cinnamon, right? I don't care for cinnamon much, but cinnamon and then apple and then cranberries or something. I don't know. Pine leaves. You could. There's a lot of winter smells you could do instead of just one. I wonder is yeah. Plus, it's blue. What is blue, Mondo? Are you talking about GFX? Pumpkin spice for fall. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I think didn't Adams Wash do a whole pumpkin spice limited like Halloween line, something like that. Um, yeah. Also in the comments, guys, I'm not giving away anything, but just to help people see this video, once this stream is done, just write like hashtag Coach Chemie in the comments just that for the algorithm to maybe trigger something. I don't know. Plus it's blue. Yes, iconic. Yes, Mondo. Yes, iconic is blue. See, this is exactly what I mentioned to you like 5 minutes ago. Add just a little bit of extra words to help my short term memory. Just helps me out a little bit. That's just the way I think. So yes, iconic is blue. Thanks, Chris. You have a good evening. I'm basically done now. Um, the polymers it doesn't break up very well, um, but it does clean very good. And I think for the price, it's not worth it. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it, and I wish the smell was a little bit stronger. Yes, Chris. Thank you so much for the evening, Mondo, Brant, anyone else who's still here. You guys are like the diehards. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to basically wrap this up so I can put things away and hang out with my family for this wonderful Friday evening. We still have like what 11, 15 people in here still. It's crazy. You guys are awesome. Again, if you have any questions, this line is really confusing. I'm still like confidently around 80% knowing what's going on. I would love to have like someone like Justin or someone who works for KCX to come in and maybe I'll have like an interview with them or something. That would be pretty cool. So if you guys have any questions or concerns or want me to try things, please ask away in the comments. I love that stuff because it shows that you're actually interested. And have a good night, guys. See ya.